Hey, we are coming off a long rest.
From this morning, yeah, you guys have been traveling for a couple hours before you met up with
But I got
Cyril
all my
in
stuff,
that situation.
honestly.
But yeah,
Okay.
We didn't do anything this morning.
Don't take my twin elves away.
so
It is my
most recently in our adventure, now reunited once more, the forsaken winds of Creatia, the four winds, tended to some final business in Koratal before beginning a journey eastward and northward into the Bridlebane Mountains to reach the peak of Mount Owlithir and meet with some sort of wise leader there at the direction of the Beast King. Your first day provided an encounter with some dangerous harpies and a hill giant, as well as a rare sighting of Ara's smallest moon, the amber-colored Almeida. The second day of travel included sight of the aftermath of some kind of skirmish between Terra Corps patrol members and a strange mutated feral creature, as well as a friendly campfire meeting that turned sour when they robbed you of some gold. And now we resume during your third day of travel, where you had met the high elven Cyril and were warned of a foul entity ahead, which had slain Cyril's friend, Senator Anakos of Auroras. And that is where we pick back up as you head down into the darkened chamber of Dur'Morhen, this evil creature foretold on Lordas, the 18th of Sun's Dusk. So you all have just proceeded down a darkened tunnel, and barely any shred of light has managed to filter down into this larger chamber you find yourselves in. You are functionally out of what is considered dim light now, fully in darkness. Although with the aid of Jiri's eyepiece and the rest of your natural capabilities, you all can see down here as if it were dim light. But it is still just shades of gray, very darkened environment. But you can see out you can tell that the space goes out a couple hundred feet, even if you can only get real visual detail out to like 60 or so feet.
I'm going to become the illuminator, and I'm going to take out my blade and light it.
Okay.
Bonus action. And then I'll also take out the mystical fire torch, and I will levitate that 15 feet
Okay.
across.
Very cool. What is your blade of lucent jade?
10 feet of bright light around us now, and then dim feet for an additional 10. So we have 20 feet of light, and then the torch, I have to consult the tome to see how a torch lights.
Did that populate for you guys when I just changed your aura?
So I do believe that once there's a light source, our dark vision is just straight up turned off, right?
Yeah, and how does that affect like goggles too? Like, am I blinded if there's like extra light?
Yeah, so if you're within bright light, you definitely can't see your normal 60-foot range of dark vision because your rods, cones, you're trying to activate
exposure.
But if you step out of, Telperian's vicinity, you will get that kind of enhanced range. But obviously, the bright light surrounding you guys is, more valuable for vision than dark vision might be.
Well, and now we also have right here. Can you put a 40-foot cone or radius? Or I'm sorry, it's 20 feet of bright light out here, and then 20 feet of dim light.
Okay.
And actually, I can put it even further. I'll put it up. I have range of 60 feet on my mage hand.
But my question was specific for like goggles. You know how in like movies, when they turn the lights on, they're wearing like night vision goggles. It like hurts their eyes because it's too bright.
Right. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's like painful, but it is like it's jarring to look at Telperian's direction when you're in that aura for sure. Okay, so what's the thing over here?
20 feet of bright and then 20 feet of dim past that.
Okay, I'm gonna do.
So it probably looks really similar. It's even better than what.
It's even bigger. I'm doing a similar thing that I did with Toby previously.
Minitel.
Oh, cute.
That's smart.
But I gotta. It just is helpful for the auras because the auras are way better than the. Except I need to make him slightly bigger actually because I can't grab him. And this is a floating torch.
Yeah, this is the sacred, the fire torch.
Sacred flame.
What spell is that, MK?
Continual flame.
And does it work the same as a regular torch?
Yep. Well, it's just not hot and it can't be doused.
Continual flame.
I just want to know the range on it because the regular torch is
Equivalent in brightness to a torch.
Excellent. Perfect.
Yeah, so your blade of lucent jade is a little dimmer than this torch, but functionally you've got this green light emanating from your blade and then the torch off in the distance. You'll need to do alt to kind of place that in the middle of a space. But there it is. And so now with that, I will reveal some additional area here.
We see a fiend.
I think the fiend is gonna see us if we're in the dark, so I think it's our advantage to have the light on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it lives in here in the dark, it's gonna just be able to ambush us.
Sure.
Did Cyril tell us what it looked like?
I don't think Cyril saw it.
I don't think it's a fiend equipped. I feel like it's not gonna be as like physical as the thing that we saw that killed those Terracore. Because this thing steals shades, he said.
Raise your hand if you've ever seen a fiend before.
Well, I think that thing was a fiend out there.
Ooh.
So I think we've all seen the corpse of a fiend.
Wait, the
Draloth, I believe that was a fiend.
Were-drow?
Yeah, because I got like a 20 on the history check, and you said that thing was a fiend, right?
It was a monstrosity. Some might call it, it's kind of fiendish, kind of demonic. It actually leans more in the demonic realm because of Wolf's influence.
Got it. Anyway, what do we see with this illumination now?
Everyone give me a perception check as you're peeking around the space.
I'm going to take mine at advantage because I want to.
I don't know what that means.
I got 16.
Yikes.
Okay.
16
So you
something.
guys are seeing what has been described so far as just like a darkened interior. Although, even though the light is not illuminating great detail out further yet, Telperion, you can tell that there is some sort of large form off in this direction. At kind of a slightly raised dais.
All right. Is this any terrain here? This looks like ridges, but is it just all?
Yeah, it dips down like 5 feet. So it's just like a small hop down.
Everyone, I see something over here. Let's hop down and then check this out. I have to hit Alt to make it go in the middle.
Yeah, you hold Alt to place things exactly where you want them. And as you start to move your torch over in that direction, and you guys are moving with some dark vision, so I'll just start to illuminate more of this map. Basically, you see an enormous 15-foot statue up ahead. It seems to be of like some kind of dragonborn individual, but there's 5 heads affixed to this dragonborn. And it is just carrying a large long sword kind of built into the statue, and that long sword you can tell is coated with like blood.
That Dur'Morhen?
Well, that would be. Oh yeah, Dur'Morhen. Very good. Shall we attack him?
You mentioned there's blood on the sword. Is the blood shimmering or is it like dried and caked?
It is dried and caked. You notice, even without making an investigation check or anything, you can tell that that blood is not reflecting the ambient light from the torch. So it is not shimmering wet. It seems to be dried onto that sword.
Crater, can you get rid of the last bit of
with a rock?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys want to spread out?
No, I want to throw a rock at it. See what happens.
Well, should we spread out a little bit so we're not all clumped together before you throw?
Okay, I will go over here.
I'll go forward. Toby, I don't want you right next to me. In case I'm like a beacon of light right now.
I'm
So
sneaking this way, and as I'm like rounding this way, I want to just be looking distinctly away from the statue and just like seeing
Okay.
if it is it like a wall, is it a drop off, is there someone sneaking up to stab me?
Sure. Go ahead and make another perception check.
I'm going to real quick take off my shield.
Okay.
I just went for flexibility with my other hand out.
Okay. Jiri, were you doing anything with the statue?
Yep. Jiri's gonna take out his blue stone, breathe some magic wind into it, and he's gonna toss it and try to aim right in between the statue's feet. Just kind of skip it across
Gonna
the
nutmeg
floor
him?
so it slides. Yeah.
Okay. So you are free to do that. You imbue your stone with magic and throw it off in that direction. And as it clatters to the floor, you can tell that noise is echoing throughout the chamber, but the statue does not move. Roulette, you do not catch anything that indicates you were looking for like a drop off or anyone sneaking up on you. The terrain seems somewhat stable in here. There also does appear to be some kind of like collapsed rubble over in this direction that seems to be like possibly almost avalanche like it has blocked off a portion of this chamber, and you do not catch any blurs of movement or sounds of steps or anything for sneaking creatures in this space.
This statue thing is like really big, right?
15 feet tall.
It's 15 feet tall, several feet wide.
And the sword's just massive.
Yeah. Are you getting close to it? Do you want to try and determine
At this point,
any
I'm gonna
information from it?
I want to try to mind sliver it to see if it
Okay.
activates anything.
Okay. So what do you do for your mind sliver?
I think for the briefest moment, Telperian's eyes I feel like they go like a little like mist starry for a second as he's kind of concentrating, and he's not going to physically do anything. But I will whisper the word harm in Elvish, kind of under my breath, and
Very cool.
focus on
You
this.
try and
This thing has a mind. That's what I'm.
Right. So you reach out and you try and affect this thing with your aggression in your mind, and you do sense that it is absolutely inanimate, void of intelligence or mind.
Okay, with that in mind, with that knowing that, I'll say, all right, everyone, I don't think it's alive in any sense. Maybe possessed later. I'm not sure, but I think we can approach.
Watch your step.
Good point.
Just keep an eye out.
I slowly go over and pick up my stone.
Okay, you can do so.
Toby, did you want to stay back there as we're inching up?
I'm gonna head to here, and then I'm gonna do Eyes of the Grave and see if I get any undead pings on my radar.
Beautiful.
Okay. You focus on your undead pings, and when you open your awareness to that, you feel no sense of undead.
Nice.
Labs.
All right, nothing's happening as Jerry's moving around the corpse, the statue.
Jesus Christ.
I'm circling.
Yeah, as Jiri kind of slowly walks around it, where's your torch held? Is it above the statue right now?
It's like it's like at the face of the thing.
Okay, so it's hovering above that. Your own kind of flashlight of your lucent blade is being held aloft as well. You guys are fairly well illuminating some of that space. And Jiri, as you're looking around it, give me a religion check.
Oh, I'm so good at this. 14.
It's almost a 5.
Above a 13 is good enough to know that the 5 heads of this creature seem to you remember fearsome stories in the past of your upbringing and stuff. You just feel like even without remembering specifics from your past, you just know you've heard fearsome tales of Tiamat, the five-headed dragon god. So this individual statue seems to be some kind of representation of maybe not Tiamat's natural form, but some sort of reverence toward Tiamat.
Telperion, do you know anything about Tiamat?
Can I history check?
Sure.
I know a little bit. I rolled a 17. No, wait. Yeah. 17.
You know that Tiamat is famously Bahamut's counterpoint, where Bahamut is a glowing example of metallic dragons and is a force of good in the world. Tiamat was once like that, but her beauty became corrupted, and she had different views of different ambitions and goals, and split from Tiamat, or split from Bahamut, and she represents the more chromatic dragonborns. It's been a long time since there was any immediate negative connotation towards chromatic dragonborn, as chromatic dragonborn are not shackled by their birth circumstance. They're whoever they are in life. But once upon a time, it was chromatic dragonborn were feared as if they were children of Tiamat.
I'm just gonna start ritual casting detect magic.
What's clicking into place is we're about to go visit some dragonborn who transmute the elements. So maybe they're connected in somehow to this. It's not totally off the mark. This massive blade, is it a statue blade? Like it's a blade statue?
It seems to be made from stone, so it's not like a metal weapon. It's a long, like 8 foot long sword, just kind of fixed into this statue's carving.
I just want to like do a quick, because my mind's starting to be like, okay, maybe this is just a feature of this cave and less involved with the demon we're here to find. Can I just like investigate the statue just to see if there's anything of note? Like, I'm kind of curious if like this was used for sacrifices, if things could be stored here. I'm a little bit thinking about when Toby's song made that little thing pop out of that statue in the Elvish Ruin.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Yes, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Ooh, good. 19.
19's good enough that you don't see inscriptions or anything on this statue, but what you do see is this statue, the stonework seems to have been from once a single individual humanoid form, this draconic dragonborn looking form. The other heads affixed to it seem like a slightly different variation of stone that were affixed to this thing at some point.
Oh.
And not part of the initial carving, if you will. But as you guys are poking around, what are you doing, Jiri?
I'm gonna scrape off. I'm gonna try to kind of climb up maybe on the foot to get and reach up and hopefully be able to scrape off a little bit of the blood on the sword. I'm gonna bring it down to Telperion and just hand it to him and ask him, Telperion, you know anything about blood?
I've spilled a lot of it, and I've studied it
I know.
too.
So maybe you know whose blood this is.
It just looks really old. I smell it.
Yeah, it's too old where smell is a useful sense for you.
And it's like deep, like black from age at this point.
Yes, very, very ruddy brown.
I don't know, Jerry. Good question though. I feel like this was probably used for sacrifice, but also I'm getting wary that ignoring my surroundings.
All of a sudden, as you guys are investigating this space, you do hear a sound, like a cackling. And you're not sure what direction it's coming from before you realize it's not coming from. Okay, you could do puffy armor as this is happening.
Love that.
Okay, so Jiri casts his puffy armor in kind of reactionary stance for whatever's happening, but you all hear a voice, and at first you're trying to quickly ascertain direction, before you realize it is being reached into your minds, not audible in the space around you. And you just hear, delicious. They walk right into our home. Oh, how I grew tired of waiting for the shadow of night to take these lands. Now we get to hunt sooner than we thought. Do you smell that? Their shadows are ripe. Their bodies ready to be torn from their souls. And Toby Rama, you specifically, with a high enough passive perception to catch this thing's stealth, you hear no footstep or movement, but you catch at least a breath behind you. And as you specifically turn your head just in time, you catch just a glimpse of a 10-foot tall, fiendish, dragonborn devil hybrid, ganglion warped. It tenses its lean muscles and bares its teeth before everything around you begins to go dark. I would like everyone to kick off some initiative rolls.
Before we do, I'm just kind of curious. This isn't really an action or anything. Telperion, when he started hearing that voice, he would have started pushing back at it to like push it out of his mind, just because I think he would have felt invaded, that there was something in his mind.
Sure.
And so he just would have started naturally trying to like bulk up his brain against whatever it was. I don't think that does anything mechanical. I just wanted to say that was his instinct.
Probably not, but that makes sense. It's kind of reactionary instinct of you to try and force out its whatever this thing's influence is.
Oh, whoops. Why did I go twice?
Yours is 17.
I should
Alfie is
be-
16.
No, I should be a 16.
Okay, hang on one second.
Abby.
For some reason, it's not letting me select something, but... All right, well, we will do this.
Great. I have one sliver in my other hand, my offhand, by the way.
Okay. My brain is moving pretty slowly right now. Okay. So, not having caught this thing's presence, most of you are considered surprised in this moment of assault. Toby Rama and Alfie are not considered surprised. Alfie is incapable of being surprised.
Oh, yeah.
And Toby Rama did manage to flag this thing's breath behind him before you were accosted. So so functionally what that means is we just skip your initiative turns for the first round of combat. So it is Dur'Morhen's turn first.
Alfie takes dodge by default.
Do we get to see what he looks like now?
Ooh. A large, fiendish, 10-foot tall, dragonborn fiend devil hybrid wielding a scimitar and like dilapidated, wilted wings approaches you from behind. Toby, you see this thing coming, walking towards you right before everything around you goes fully dark. And I need to do this, that. This is going to be a little difficult to see. But we will figure it out. Except it's not letting me select it all of a sudden. Yeah, the draw shape function's being very strange right now, but...
Oh god, it's going to be in darkness the whole time.
What is going on here? Here we go.
At night.
Toby Rama, as you see this thing walk towards you, and some of you might catch a glimpse of its form, although you're too slow in this moment to react. But Toby Rama, everything around you goes entirely jet black. Your vision is fully cut off, your dark vision not helping you in this moment. As Dur'Morhen moves towards you, and you just sense that this thing is responsible for the conjuration of this magic, although you did not see it cast a spell per se. And then you sensed its presence where it was located before it uses a bonus action to shroud itself, disappearing into the darkness. Although your passive perception is 22, correct? So you actually do hear it move slightly into this space next to you, or right here rather. But that is its turn. Telperion is surprised. Toby Rama, it is your turn.
You can see within range. God, always see within range.
Sight is a depth of spells.
I will Radiant Soul, bamf out the wings. Where is that?
Okay.
There it is.
Okay, save him for the fiend we're gonna fight later.
Yeah, okay. And then I will cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
Is that verbal? It says right there, yeah.
Yes, it is. And then I will try and fly straight up for 30 feet.
Okay. As you do, it is definitely going to make an attack against you. It is going to make a bite attack. With advantage, since you cannot see it, it is an unseen attacker. Does a 22 hit?
Yeah.
So you still make it away from this thing, but you feel this thing's teeth lash out at you, and you pinpoint its exact location where it was standing as you take 6 piercing damage, and then you feel like a burning sensation as you feel like acid soak into your skin for another point of damage.
Okay, I keep my Shield of Faith up.
Okay.
Thank God.
That would suck.
But 30 feet in the air, do I at any point exit darkness?
That's a great question. Let me pull up the specific radius here, because you do leave its radius. Yes, this thing seems to be a 15-foot radius sphere that is currently centered on the ground. So it's reaching out in diameter of 30 feet, which actually that's probably not even correctly marked by this.
No, it is.
6 across.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, perfect. So you do come out as soon as you get 20 feet up in the air. You look down at this darkened dome around you, or below you, rather.
Yeah, that is everything.
Do you say anything?
I mean, I think there would be some commotion as this thing is attacking.
You just heard you yell to use a spell too.
And we see it.
I know the spell. I probably cringed from the pain audibly.
Your wings illuminate?
They are bright, but they don't shed functional light.
Good.
Yeah, they can probably cut through darkness in a way that you could see it from hundreds of feet away, as if they're a source of light, but they're not giving off radius of light.
That's it.
All right, that'll do it for Toby. Okay. Toby Rama, you see leaping up from that space another form. As I put that on the token layer. Another terrifying form that I will show you here in a second. Leaps up, seemingly intangible, made from shadow, soars out of this darkness. And it is loosely in the form of another draconic being, as if it's identical to Dur'Morhen, but a shadow version of that, completely intangible. And it leaps up into the air and is going to try and attack you.
Come on, baby. Ugh. +8. So I have literally half a chance, 50%, that this will miss. If it's still +8, because it's a different thing.
Okay, so with its most attack, it's going to make 2 claw attacks at you. The first one, it's a little too aggressive and swipes early. And the second one...
Beats it, no!
It does reach for you, dealing 12 psychic damage. As it soars up, you see this thing, it jets its arm into your face, and you feel no resistance as it comes into and then your brain experiences like a dramatically irritated angst that really damages your mental senses, taking 12 damage of psychic damage.
That's still up, that's good.
And then it immediately flies back down into the darkness and is shrouded.
Punch it.
Unfortunately, even before you have the chance, I don't know why. Oh, it's automatically rolling that. I just want to display this in BTT, which is not going to let me. But its incorporeal movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. You feel it leave your space before you even had a chance to react. And that is its turn. Jiri, you are up.
So I couldn't see the thing that's inside the dome of darkness, but I could see this thing like pop out.
You could see that shadow fly up, attack Toby, and then fly back down. So still both creatures are not currently visible, but you know functionally where both of them are. Neither of them have successfully hidden. They're just obscured right now by that darkness.
All right, so I'm a little hesitant to like step into that shadow, so I'm gonna like kind of like move my way, and I'm gonna position myself like in between the legs of this statue, and kind of like look out and breathe magic into my stones and puck 2 of them just through into the darkness there.
Okay, based on you guys' environmental understanding, you know that based on, well, Toby caught the other being's position, but you know the shadow's position should roughly be here. Even without visual, it did not successfully hide. So you know it to be roughly in this space. So you know a target to aim toward, basically.
Okay, yeah, so I throw 2 rocks in that direction.
Okay,
just
okay, so you throw 2 stones. So go ahead and roll. Both have disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, because we need to know generally where it is to even get.
You need to, to even make an attack successfully, you got to know where to target. But then when you know where it is, it's still unseen. A 16, you hear your first stone just sail through the darkness, not making impact, clattering off behind.
Okay, and then
That's a +9
shot.
roll.
No.
Same with both of them, just sail through the darkness and just you hear the clang of them past that darkness, so no longer visible.
Okay, so then I'm still peering out, and I like turn and I say, "Tell Perion I can't see them." That's it.
Okay. At initiative count 20.
Oh Jesus!
Lair action, holy shit.
It's right near me. It's me.
You all, let me see this. Telperion is standing in bright light. Jiri is standing in bright light. Roulette is standing in dim light. And you feel something strange moving from beneath your space. And as you look down, you see like shadows whirling and wisping around you. And then you see like the forms of like tendrils of hands, like trying to reach for your legs and trying to pull you down. As soon as this happens, Toby Rama, just for flavor, you do for the first time get the briefest blip of some sort of undead aura in this space. It's not functionally like triggering your ability so far, but since you did use it earlier, you just get the sense that there is some kind of undeath energy in this place. And Roulette, I would like you to make a dex saving throw.
Mini Telperion.
Okay. As these things reach up and try and grab you, you just manage to pull out of their restraining grip, and you only take 3 damage as necrosis starts to like try and seep into your armor and your legs. You can feel that would have been more painful and potentially restrained you had you not barely managed to avoid the effect. But it is now your turn, Roulette.
Sorry. Checking something.
Too many.
How far am I from? Roulette is definitely freaking out, and she's probably just stumbling back this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just stumbling back towards the torch and Telperion and everyone. Visibly freaked out, and she is. I can only do one of those. So yeah. Bonus action, I'm going to cast Arcane Weapon on my flail. Picking, ignore that.
Sure.
Picking fire.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to...
Is this a second level or first level thing you're doing?
First level.
Okay.
Do I have any sense of where anything is? Like, would I have seen that shape thing in the same area?
I would say none of you other than Toby Rama caught the movements of Dur'Morhen itself, but you guys were able to see that shadow that leaped out and attacked Toby Rama. You guys are able to pinpoint that its location. It seemed to dip into the dome right around here. Got it.
I'm going to just shoot a firebolt after I say,
okay,
make sure you guys stay in the light. There's something on the ground. And then I will... firebolt into it.
Okay. Unfortunately, you once more see your firebolt just disappear into the darkness, and then a small burst of illumination on the wall past it as it has just seared straight through that space. No impact.
That's my turn.
Okay. It is Dur'Morhen's turn. And as a bonus action on its turn, it will move the space of darkness up to 60 feet to where it overlaps multiple sources of bright light, which are immediately dispelled. As that darkness creeps into Jiri and Telperion, your spaces, your vision is fully cut off. The continual flame disperses, and your blade of lucent jade dims back down to no light. Fully dispelling both light effects.
And it's magical darkness, so we're unable to see.
Correct. It's magical darkness, so Jiri and Telperion are surrounded in full darkness. But you guys do manage to see for a moment this thing's form still in its space as its wings flap, almost like using shadow to fill the holes in its dilapidated wings, and it just soars directly into that darkness and is once more fully shrouded. It is going to make 2 attacks on at least Jiri.
Pafiyama.
Oh, that might be so clutch.
Our first damage on it would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, its multi-attack is 3 attacks. So 3 attacks on Jiri.
We're gonna die.
Yep.
26 to hit.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so it deals 10 slashing damage to you as this thing's scimitar cuts across you.
And then steam blasts it.
As your steam blasts it, you see it like deflect. Well, you don't see it, but you hear no reaction as that steam jets out toward that creature. And then its second and third attack. 22 to hit.
That hits. More
for
steam.
Another 9. More steam. And again, no reaction of pain.
Oh, I can help with this. Oh, no,
You
I
can't see.
Sorry, I'm trying to find.
And then
Yeah, you
its
can see
third
it
and
right
final attack. A 19 to hit.
19 hits.
So you feel 6 piercing damage as this thing bites down into you, and you feel the singeing burning of acid as you take 2 more acid damage.
Ouch.
And that is its turn. It is not hidden functionally, but it is still fully obscured as you guys can't see through the magical darkness. Telperion, it is your turn. Oh, you also do see, since the darkness left its space, you also see the shadow left in that space.
I'm gonna take a step back and try to get out of the shadow.
Okay, so as you stumble back, seeing that like dome of shadow approach you, as you stumble back, you do successfully get out of it.
Bonus action, sword light back on.
Okay, as you trigger it and it starts to emanate, it immediately is dispelled as its radius hits this more powerful darkness, snuffing out your blade.
That's not what I thought would happen. I had the torch up here, over its head.
You can probably see the torch.
Well, I'm
floating. Right, you can probably see it floating, and you know where you're holding it to. So you can see it, but you can tell that the magical continual flame has been dispelled as the darkness encroached on its radius.
Okay. I'm going to
Cry.
use my action to take our torch out and light it.
Okay. You take out your torch, your own torch from the bag. Yep.
I want to get further away because I just saw how my thing was hurt by whatever that just did. So I'm going to go here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then do that.
Okay. So you run over to a different location, you take out interaction, draw a torch from your bag, and with an action, you get your tinder, whatever is required to light the torch. And as soon as it lights, you see the flame flicker and its aura starts to emanate from it before the torch itself sputters out harmlessly as its aura of light touched the dark aura in front of you and magically snuffed out your light.
Big yikes.
Okay. All right, everybody. I got no other sources of light than that. That's literally like all I can do. I'm gonna play action search. Because I bonus actioned, I interacted, and I moved. Everybody, if light touches the bubble, it's not gonna work. So don't waste your turns like I did, and that's my turn.
Okay. Toby Rama, you are hovering how high up in the air? 20, 30 feet?
30 feet. Okay.
So you see that demonic shadow or devilish, fiendish shadow down below you where it had gone back into the dome. You see your allies other than Jiri. You do not see the form of Dur'Morhen, but you do see its shadow.
Bro, I have no idea. I could do that. I think I should do that. Oh, yeah. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna upcast Aid and cast it on myself, Jiri, until period. All of our current and max HPs go up by 10.
Your poor sinuses.
And then I will use a bonus action to harness divine power and get my 2nd level spell slot back.
Okay.
And I will fly. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yonder. How high up is the cavern go?
60 feet or so. It's a large chamber space.
Okay. That is the whole kit caboodle.
Did you say you're flying up higher?
No.
Okay, so you're still at 30 feet elevation, but just soared over in a direction. Got it. Okay. It is the Shade's turn, and it is going to rush toward Telperion and make some attacks. First attack. Misses. Okay, so this is actually interesting because as this thing reaches in, it's not clawing at your form. Its hands are going right for your head, and as you like feel this thing reach into your head and you feel a surge of discomfort in your mind, you forcefully repel it with your mind, and it is harmless against in that attack.
So
Its
I will
second attack.
use my
Okay.
reaction to
Okay.
use the cloak with lightning.
Okay.
Dex save of 15.
Got it. $11. So it does work. So go ahead and roll damage for that lightning damage.
Roll 2 2s. So that's 4 damage.
Okay. So you do see it like crackle through this thing's form and it react in pain. And then its second attack, as it reaches into your mind once more, repelled the first time and with more aggression this time, it does a 20 hit you, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not remember. Yeah, it would hit me either way.
So for 13 psychic damage, as you feel you were able to repel it the first time, but the second time really did a number on your senses. And that is its turn. Actually, it is going to fly back away. Actually, it's going to fly into the darkness because that's what it would do. And again, not provoking opportunity, but that's not a big deal since you were able to successfully use your reaction. You guys know where it is. It's not successfully hidden, but it is fully obscured within that darkness. That is its turn. Jiri.
So I can see this thing now in front of me, right? Is it just attack?
No, you cannot see it. You know exactly where it is, but you still can't see it. You're within a dome of magical darkness. So you know where it is, but it's still, you would have disadvantage without sight. But you know
Would
where
I
the
be able
target.
to focus on it?
Does that require sight?
Yes, I believe so.
I think if that requires sight, then unfortunately not.
Creature you can see. So when it attacked me, it didn't like. I wasn't able to see it at
you saw
any point.
Nothing. No,
Okay,
you're fully within a dome of darkness.
All right, then Jiri is just gonna stand his ground, and he's gonna start swinging at wherever that thing was with his sword.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Disadvantage on the strikes, but you know exactly where to target. 14 unfortunately misses, although you do sense those stray arcing leaps of lightning flare off toward it.
Okay.
I just need to check its resistances.
Does it get hit by those?
It does get hit by that. So you feel it, you hear it snarl in a little bit of pain as that stray lightning does touch it, and actually, as it is damaged.
Fuck yes. Holy shit, yes. Oh my god, yes.
If that didn't happen, this would.
It's going to use a legendary resistance
You
to
piece of
choose
shit!
to succeed on that. So you suspected, you saw maybe the dome of darkness waver for just a moment as you injured it, but then it like sturdied itself and did manage to keep it up.
And I locked eyes with it for that brief second when it went
I would say
down.
that's fair game. You can target it with that.
Okay, so I call on Meko to play me a tune, and I focus on this creature.
Okay.
And I take another swing.
All right. Still disadvantage in this moment, but
Dang.
definitely
Okay.
you have focused on it.
Nice.
Wow. Definitely impacts. Let me check something real quick here. Got it. Okay. For I imagine two-handed, and that's great. Yeah, 19 damage to this thing.
My god, another con save.
Yep.
19, still DC 10,
Do you have to go over 20 to make that happen?
essentially.
The darkness
Fuck you, bitch.
disappears, and you now see both creatures in front of you.
All right, that's I'll all Jiri can do. He did his best.
All right. As soon as you successfully dispel this thing's darkness, I need everyone except Toby Rama to give me a dexterity saving throw. As at initiative count 20, you all feel wisps of shadow coalescing around your feet, grabbing at you and trying to restrain you.
Do our
I'm restrained
like the
now?
blue stone doesn't come back on? None of the lights like reappear?
None
when
of the lights
darkness
resurge. No, it had
Okay.
full. The darkness seems to have dispelled those effects in the moment.
Christopher, I'm
dex
using.
save?
Yeah, dex.
Okay,
save.
yep. What are you doing, Roulette?
I'm using my inspiration.
Okay.
Bro,
God.
what?
Damn it!
All three of you take 7 necrotic damage and are locked in place, functionally restrained, as these things are grabbing onto you and like climbing up your form. Now they're like almost like shadowy, intangible goo are like grabbing onto your arms and your shoulders and such, preventing movement and otherwise. But Roulette, it is your turn.
Roulette is on the ground. Like, wait, am I like? I'm not prone.
You're
just
not
like,
prone. You're just like being like restrained by this stuff.
So it's worse than grapple. We literally can't attack.
It is worse that restrained is a worse condition than grapple. It's not. You can still attack just with disadvantage.
Roulette's having like PTSD from like some Storm's Edge caves, and for the first time, not in a dream, in front of her friends, she's like that rumbling starts, and I'm it's gonna be a combo again. Bonus action the roar, and then action the lightning, and I'm specifically because I can see now.
Yep.
I'm gonna aim it like here so that I know I'm not hitting Jiri just to the left of the statue.
You know you can hit both of those things. Like you have a good line of sight where that's possible. So perfect.
Bonus action, like just this scream, terrifying roar emits.
What?
Hitting both of them for I think it's a con save.
As you roar,
oh, what the fuck!
And you just hear this like deeply, almost Beast King of Chimeras level of like ferocity and volume on this roar. They're like, how is that coming from Roulette?
That's just so stupid.
These two beings just look at you with like a deep grin. They are immune to frightened, but then you are able to though unleash your lightning breath.
God damn it.
Is that a dex save on both of their parts?
It is a DC 14 dex save. Because it's 8.
Dur'Morhen first does succeed. The shadow also succeeds. So they both succeed, take half damage.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Two?
So it touches them.
You did it, Roulette.
God. Oh.
You're just so worried about hitting Jiri.
Yeah. You're playing it safe.
Christopher, hold on. Condition in this terms of let's say +1 plus BB +4 1d20 +4. Alfie saved from the grapple, the restraint.
Oh, okay. So he still would take some damage, but yes, he did barely save from that. So he took 3 necrotic damage.
Hold on. He takes 10 total, and he's restrained because he should have done it the first time
Oh,
too.
the first time. Got it. Okay. So yeah, he'll take 10 total to Alfie. Yep.
Yeah, and he is restrained as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to roll in directions, but the shadows aren't letting him.
That's my turn.
Okay. Dur'Morhen's turn. Dur'Morhen is going to back up from Jiri, and you do get an attack of opportunity if you would like. And you can see him, so this is not at disadvantage.
Hit him with the might of Zeus.
'21 hits for 14 damage. Okay. So as he backs up from you, he winces as he does take impact from your slash and the lightning. And then he is going to, you see his form start to like shimmer and shift as even though he's in dim light and visible, he's, I guess, able to hide himself in even areas of dim light as he attempts to stealth. With a nat 20. With a nat 20, you see him just like, he only steps back a little bit. Your vision should pierce that, but he just disappears into shadow. Before arriving right behind you with advantage on his next attack.
No.
Which he'll do his bite first. Uh, 27 to hit, I think. For 13 piercing damage and 7 acid damage.
I don't have
Ouchie.
protection.
And then its other 2 attacks with its scimitar do not have advantage, so just normal attacks. But 21
Christ,
and then
thank
12.
you.
So the last one won't hit, but the 6 more slashing, and that will complete its turn.
And Jiri looks very bad.
Yeah.
He is
This
like,
one's, he calls to his shadow. This one's soul is ready. And the shadow seems to be aggressing towards Jiri, but it's not his turn yet. So Telperion, it is your turn.
I'll try to break the restraint.
Okay, using your action to bust out of it, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh boy. Oh Christ. Athletics check.
Mm-hmm.
13.
Does
13.
not succeed.
Fucking kidding.
You try and battle your way out of these things, but they're like weirdly intangible, but still restraining your movement. They're almost like sapping the strength from you, and you are unable to break that restraint. But you still have.
I action
additional
search to
things.
try again.
Okay, go ahead and try again.
I succeed.
Okay, awesome.
25.
Yeah, if it's at least 15, then yeah, you bust out of them, and they harmlessly try and hold on to you more, but you have successfully gotten out of it.
And then I use my bone. I move over here, get right up in this guy's business. And I will use my bonus action to light my sword.
Okay, awesome. So your Lucent Blade once more turns on for this and this. Very cool. Very cool.
That was my bonus action. 2 actions.
It definitely like reacts in frustration over the new light in its space.
That's my turn.
Okay. Toby Rama.
Okay. Where's that thing? One attack or okay. So I'm gonna fly down here, all the way
Okay.
next to Jiri, and I'm gonna pat you on the back and give you 5 hit points.
As a
Giving
bonus
me
act. Oh,
action.
as your action.
Giving
got
me
it.
4 temp.
Still look
Temps.
awful.
Yep.
And then I will cast Flying Arrow here, 20 to hit on Dur'Morhen, not the shadow. I want to put it here.
Okay, what is Flying Arrow? That's
Spiritual
your
weapon.
spiritual weapon. Got it.
Oh.
All right. I want to do this like that,
Oh,
and it's right.
save twice.
Jerry, Telly's
Here.
Telperian's got you.
Hopefully.
Okay. For
Ignore
a
me.
20 to hit, so you do see it get struck by your flying arrow. What does it
For-
look like when you cast that?
I don't have my bow out, so I'm not doing the motion that I did before. So it's kind of a 2-hand thing. I'm doing one hand on Jiri, and then I'm just kind of flaring out my hand, and the medallion glows a bit as mists converge into an arrow.
Very cool.
So it did 11
And it deals force plus some
and
radiant.
plus 5 radiant.
Got it. This thing's pretty beefy. You're not seeing it bloodied yet, but it is definitely taken some damage.
Any extra wincing from the radiant by any chance?
It does not seem to wince from the radiant.
Okay.
But it does damage it. You do see, I'll give it to you with passive perception, that when you see that radiant energy kind of detonate on the thing's form, the shadow over to your left, you do see it like recoil for a moment in fear.
Action, bonus action, movement.
Did you get advantage on that because of my location?
The arrow.
Yeah, you could have given it advantage. You could go ahead and roll again, see if it's a nat 20.
Uh-oh. Griff!
Oh my god.
The
Wow,
dice. Should I
so go
reroll a d8? Reroll a d8.
Yeah, we'll just add one more d8 of force damage onto it for another 6 damage.
17. 22 was the final total now. Good call,
Got
MJ.
it. Yeah, that's amazing.
You did attack it.
Yeah.
I dealt damage.
Yeah, that's effective damage. All right.
That's it for Toby. He's on ground level again.
Okay. It is the shadow's turn. The shadow immediately recoils from the light, moving backward, not even wanting to be in that dim light. But then it will come over here and it will jump into the dim light for just a moment to make an attack toward Toby Rama and Roulette. Although, actually, I'm sorry, it's going to use its bonus action to try and hide first.
So Toby's passive is about to matter.
It could. I think Toby Rama's passive definitely flags it. Roulette, what's your passive?
13.
So both of you, you see its form dissipate into the shadow like Dur'Morhen, but you were able to adjust your vision enough to see where it's coming from. So it does swoop in and it does not successfully hide from you. So it will not have advantage, but it will strike Toby Rama, then Roulette.
I'm gonna wait until it attacks me.
It's advantage on.
I'm still restrained.
Oh, also, I rolled a dex for it, and it's actually a stealth for it, which is +3. So it actually, you do not see it, Roulette, because its stealth is a +7 modifier. So it functionally rolled a 14 stealth. So Toby Rama, you're able to track its movement, but Roulette, it does get one attack off on you with advantage.
There's advantage anyway.
Question. Alfie cannot be surprised, but no, he has. Oh no, Alfie's passive perception is 16.
Okay, so it
And
definitely is not hidden from him.
That thing is within 5 feet of Alfie because it's a 5x5.
It can for sure try and Alfie can for sure try and offset this thing's advantage. So it is gonna, you see all of a sudden from shadow in front of you, a hand reach out, and but Alfie does have time to react.
Alfie will use his reaction to let out a flash from his eyes to distract.
Okay.
Him. I don't know.
So it offsets its advantage for just a straight roll toward you. 17 to hit.
Was that to me or Toby?
That's to you first.
Oh, that hits.
Okay, so 17 to you, and then it will make one claw also to Toby Rama.
This.
Toby's standing in that area of bright light, and as it reaches out for him, it rethinks its decision as it kind of recoils from the area of bright light. But Roulette, you do take 12 psychic, and I think you need to make a concentration check on arcane weapon potentially.
Yeah.
And then it will retreat from the area of dim light, wanting to remain in darkness, and its incorporeal movement does not proc opportunity attack.
Oh.
But you do save on keeping your arcane weapon up. But that is its turn. Jiri, you are up.
Oh man, I'm so torn. I should.
You have a potion?
I do have a potion, but I want to do
Bonus
something.
action?
I want to do something cool instead. That's gonna get me
I'm
killed.
next to you with the bonus action heal, just so you know.
Do the cool thing.
And I have a reaction shield saved for you.
So Jiri is right now, he's restrained, and he's gonna use his bonus action to kind of like decondense and then like quickly blink out of existence and reappear behind this guy like he did to him.
Very cool.
He just missed his step.
And attack hopefully with advantage.
This positioning would not give you advantage, but you could have blinked to a space that would have given you advantage. Functionally, Toby's arrow is occupying this space, but you know that this space would give you advantage.
Would this space if I'm with the arrow?
No, unfortunately, creatures can't benefit from flanking with the spiritual arrow, but it can benefit from a person. But yes, in that space, you would know that you're opposing and you could get advantage for sure.
Okay, so I'm here, reappear, no longer restrained, and I'm going to attack twice.
Okay. Attack twice with disadvantage, getting out of the restraint very easily, magically.
With
Advantage.
advantage.
Yes,
Yeah.
with advantage. Yep.
Oh, see.
He threw in Odis by accident.
For that absolutely hits. That's not a 9, is it? Oh, it's an 18. Thank God, not a 19. I didn't want you to crit. For 16 damage. Okay.
I wanted it.
Oh, did you say it was more than 16? Did you say 19 or something?
No, 16.
Yeah. Okay, 16.
And then 15.
And then 15. Got it. You definitely carve into it. You're seeing like black oozes of ichor just like spurt from it, not like blood, but just this sludge. Got it. Cool. That it for you?
That's it for me.
All right, roulette.
Does anything happen at 20?
Yes, you're right. It does. Anyone that is in dim light, so Jiri, once more, even though roulette, you remain grappled by this stuff, but Jiri, you blinked
That's
out of it, and then do need to make a dex save for me, as these things are
Could
gonna
you
try
have
and
used your
tear into
movement at
those.
the end to get back in the light of your turn?
Oh, yeah.
Is that something? If you can like honestly say that's what he would have done, that's fine. But if
I
you
think
don't
Jiri
think that's what
would
he would
want
have
to
done,
be as close, yeah, like in the light.
I also would have
Definitely.
called. I was sitting here holding it in, but Toperian was like, "Jerry, don't go out of the light," and so kind of, I don't know. I probably would have yelled something too.
okay, that's fair. Although roulette being still restrained by those things, they do assault you for 2d6 necrotic.
Does he get to try and avoid the two save against the damage?
It's the dex save is to avoid being grappled. They auto deal damage to grapple or restrained creatures. But for 11 necrotic damage, it looks like.
I gotta save it. Sorry.
That's fine. She's hurt, but yeah.
Jerry's at like 9.
I'm not done. I'm going to attempt to break out of this restraint. I'm going to use one of the charges from my armor of magical strength to add my intelligence. So I'm making an athletics.
Okay, got it. Very cool.
It's this plus 4.
Unfortunately, you struggle, and your arcane armor kind of helps you get out of some of it, but not all of it. You are still unfortunately restrained.
I like turn to Alfie and I whisper, 4 of them, hit him. And I'm going to spend 4 charges on the guy in the light, which is 64 plus 6.
Yes. For 18 force damage. As those sink into its form and detonate from within, you see this thing recoil. It's in pain now. You guys have definitely done enough damage to it for it to affect its form.
Action, bonus action. That's my turn.
Okay. Dur'Morhen, furious, and it shrieks in anger as you guys are filling it with bright light and hurting it more than it anticipated. It's going to use a bonus action to use its enervating breath. You see Dur'Morhen inhale and expecting some sort of outhale burst that doesn't happen. As it inhales deeply and drains you guys of vitality, anyone within 10 feet of Dur'Morhen needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Hey, yo.
Perfect.
Oh, baby.
19?
22.
19 is a success. 22 is a success. 10 is a failure. Roulette.
Not within 10 feet.
Oh, that's true. Alfie will need to make one, though.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Plus 5. $16 for Alfie.
Okay, also a success. So most of you guys succeed. Jiri fails for a total of...
Eyes.
Jiri, you take 19 necrotic damage and you gain a level of exhaustion as you fall unconscious, potentially, unless there's something going on here.
Oh, no,
But
big
the
time
rest of you take 9 necrotic damage.
Would I have any way of knowing that that was a spell?
You do not suspect that was a spell.
Okay.
Christopher, question.
Yes.
Alfie's in bright light. Is he still restrained?
That's actually not written in the thing. Hang on, let me check this thing.
I'm gonna use my reaction to shield Toby from that.
The bright light, hang on one second. Before we handle other stuff, I want to make a call here. The wisps of shadow trying to restrain you guys, you have noticed they've only sprung up from dim light. And it's actually not written whether they are dematerialized in bright light. But I'm going to go ahead and say, no, it's not written. I think they still remain in bright light. But they only are springing up. They're probably like withering and it looks like they're not happy. But they only spring into existence from areas of dim light or darker. Toby, Telperion, Alfie take 9 necrotic.
Oh, yeah.
Jiri takes 19 and I think falls unconscious.
But you resist
Oh, he's
necrotic,
big time
MK?
dead.
To necrotic?
Yeah, are you
Yeah,
resistant?
so that's 4 damage to me then. So
And Jiri, that was way more than would have, like, you were going down no matter what.
Yeah.
damage.
I'll shield myself.
Okay. Toby, are you concentrating on anything?
I'm concentrating
Shield of
on
Faith.
Shield of Faith.
So go ahead and give me a con save for that.
What was
DC
the
10.
Did you say what the DC for that was?
I don't know that I necessarily said it, but it's the same DC as all of his abilities. Okay, so you succeed on your con save, maintaining Shield of Faith. After its bonus action completes,
Oh no, I just wasted my shield on that.
it is going to, furious with the light, once more use its creeping darkness and just like slash into the air, and you just see darkness
Do
emanating
I
your
feel that
blade
that
of
is a
Lucent Jade.
spell?
You do not sense this as a spell.
Bro, what? I was gonna counter
You heard, yeah, you heard, although it slashed, you did not register that as a somatic component, and it did not speak a word to conjure a spell. But that light will go out, and it will once again be shrouded in darkness. As I do this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, right there. So Jiri, Toby Rama, you're still flying up.
No,
So
I'm on
this-
ground level.
You're on ground level. Okay, so you guys are all shrouded in darkness. Same with Alfie, but Roulette, you see this dome bubble out in front of you. You're not effectively in the darkness, but you see that it was conjured once more. That is Dur'Morhen's turn. Although... Yeah, that's its turn. Telperion, you're up.
Okay, I know where Jiri was, so I'm gonna step. I've been sitting there watching my path, and I'm gonna bonus action with my ring, put a Vrayal's tea into him.
Okay, so you feel around for Jiri's collapsed body on the floor in the darkness, but you're able to know where he was, so you do that bonus action. Perfect.
And I gotta go see what my tea is. So Jiri, you get. Gotta use a green die for this. Oh wow, I rolled a 1. You get 6 HP. You get 3 HP and 3 temp HP.
Yay.
So
And then
you feel the surge of like a warm, soothing liquid course through your body, a sensation you're very familiar with, and you like feel Telperion right next to you, although you're fully cut off in darkness.
And I yell, Toby, they need healing. And
Also, Jiri, you do, when you wake, you feel a level of exhaustion from that enervating breath that knocked you unconscious.
And that's just ability checks, right?
I think so, yeah.
I wish I'd saved that. I'm gonna swing twice at this thing.
Okay, you know where we're standing. Go ahead and roll it. Disadvantage.
Nine plus 7 is not giving me 16.
16.
Oh, also, 16 just misses. You feel like you thought you were gonna make impact right before it just barely missed. Although, also one piece of information I meant to say when it's enervating breath, that when it inhaled energy from all of you, you did see little bits of damage and stuff start to knit back together as it healed a minor amount from that attack.
So, I don't know if it was a flat, but I guarded against all of the damage it did against me, just so you know.
Okay, that
I guarded
will
10. Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you literally, was it gonna
I rolled
deal
an 8
9
plus
to
2,
you?
and it had dealt 9 to me. So I
Okay,
guarded
so
all.
it heals a little less. That's
Okay.
good to know.
And I had, mine was 4 temp, but that's still
Yeah,
not my
yeah,
temp.
yours was very little, but yeah,
Second disadvantaged attack.
perfect.
Fucking again. A 6. It's not. It doesn't matter. No, I miss.
Yep, unfortunately, this thing is hard to hit when it is in its darkened environment.
Oh, I haven't done a single thing. I just wish I could be more helpful. But I missed. I bonus actions. My free interaction is not useful in this situation. So I have to pass.
Okay, Toby Rama.
Can I use a free interaction to grab out a potion of healing and just hold it? Just have it in my hand?
That's drawing. It's like drawing a weapon.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to use free interaction to essentially offer Jiri... Oh, he can't see, though. Oh, none of us can see.
You could call out to him or something.
Well, I'm going to start with my bonus action. I'm going to use my spiritual weapon to attack it. Disadvantage, I imagine.
Spiritual weapon is disadvantage. You sense your presence of the spiritual weapon, so you know you can still command its movements, but you don't even see your spiritual weapon.
So
as its silver mist is not visible. But yes, disadvantage. 22 still hits.
Oh, it didn't roll the D8 plus 4, which is also going to take another 5 from my yada yada.
Okay.
Oh, wait, shit. Plus, it was a 3 plus 4, 7, so 12 damage.
12 damage, and it will make a con save. It succeeds. You see the magical darkness waver for a second before re-solidifying.
So for my action... Oh... I have Healing Word. I don't have Cure Wounds today. Bonus action... Wait, let's organize it. Make it. I'm gonna try. Oh, but no, not necrotic. I'm gonna try and stumble out of the darkness this way.
Okay, you can do that.
Because I knew where like that creature would come try to attack us. And I'm gonna unarmed strike it.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Dang.
You punch right through it, as if it's literally made of air. You just do not hurt its form.
I was trying to get the little bit. Oh, I can only do the radiant once, so that would have worked. Dumb. But out of darkness, I will end my turn there.
Okay.
Yes.
This thing is going to make one attack at you as you just came out toward it. It's going to rake its claws at you one time. For a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
dealing 12 points of psychic damage. And if you're concentrating on stuff, go ahead and make a con save.
That's enough, right?
It's enough, and you have your modifier from your focus circlet too. Yes,
that was calculated in, so that was.
Oh, gotcha.
It. But 12 damage.
Hang on one second. What's your con modifier?
What?
2, and then healer's heroism.
It's a +1.
Or concentration is a +1. That's a failure.
Yeah, it's not a +3, so
Yeah.
you fail. Your shield of faith sputters out, but it doesn't even waste another second on you. It's going for what it considers as its prey.
Why was it? He got 11 then, didn't he?
No, he rolled a +5, thinking that it was his +2 and +3, but it should have been an 8 total. Yeah. So you see like a dispersal of mist as it hits your form and you lose that, and then it just leaves your space immediately to go attack Jiri with its other attack. Seeing it as its prey, and now that it is in the magical darkness and has advantage per unseen attacker, it will attack you with advantage.
I can't shield you, by the way.
Almost. I see that nat 20 is almost there. But when this thing has advantage, you notice that its ferocity is even more, and so you take 19 psychic damage, Jiri, as this thing reaches into your mind and like shreds apart your mental. And so you fall unconscious.
Yep.
Okay. That is its turn, though. Jiri unconscious. Make a death save.
Just a normal 20, right?
Just a D20.
And Jiri
fails?
That is 2 fails.
Jiri wishes he had a healer, and while he's dead.
Bro.
You don't have inspiration or anything, do you? Just wanted to ask the question in case you chose to use it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's 2 death fails. It is Roulette's turn.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah. The restraining shadows are going to auto damage anyone they are currently restraining. Oh, he's going to auto fail that check.
Jiri's dead.
Yeah. Everyone give me a dex save.
Eesh.
Except Jiri, we're going to do something different for you.
3.
3. So Telperion, you are restrained. Toby Rama, you are restrained. Roulette and Alfie
Have been restrained for 5 rounds.
Okay. So everyone is going to take some necrotic damage. Everyone takes 8 necrotic damage. I'm going to pause the music for a second. Jiri, as this thing tears your mind and rips it apart, Jiri's sensibilities his mindset is sundered. No, not yet. We need to make it further. Further! Give me a Constitution saving throw. With a failure on the con save, Jiri, you don't notice this. You gain 1 HP before being killed, but your form feels very different. It does not feel like you are in Jiri's body, and your brain is very confused. Battle will resume. Jiri, or whatever your current form is, you are at 1 hit point, but things have changed. Okay. Roulette, it is your turn. Is Alfie sundered, broken to scraps on the floor?
Yeah, Alfie's dead.
Okay, so you saw those wisps of shadow like peel back the metal.
And Roulette is essentially dead too. I am going to. These things do too much damage. Sorry.
No worries.
I am going to. Last I saw between Telperion and Jiri. Actually, no, because Jiri was the most hurt. Okay. Action. I am going to upcast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
To get 14 hit points.
Okay.
So that's 14. Then I'm going to see if I can do that as a bonus action. No, because it's a bonus action cast. Do I have to see the spot? Range. Shit, yeah. Toby, how terrible do you look?
Oh, sorry.
I'm at
Sure.
9.
Yeah, I'm going to toss out. Do me a favor, roll a d6 for me, please. Oh, I guess I don't know. Well, I rolled it. I'm gonna roll it from now on. I
That's
roll
fair.
out a Moby 3 looking little sphere, and it lands at your feet. And from it, some red mist starts puffing out. And it does a little light show, and it looks like a miniature version of Alfie handing out potions. And you get healed for 6 from Healing Spirit that is directly on your space. And that's my free interaction. I'm gonna reach in and take the wand of magic missiles, and that's my turn.
I'm gonna ask a shitty question here.
Yeah.
I think, did you just cast 2 leveled spells in the
Oh, why
same
did I try to
turn?
do that? Yeah, never
I
mind.
didn't know what you were doing.
Never mind. I was doing bonus action. Never mind. I didn't
Yeah.
cast that. Sorry. Bonus action. I'm gonna reach in, take a potion from Alfie, and then I'm gonna drink the potion. What is it? What's a 2d4 plus 2?
Yes, for a normal healing potion, yep. 2d4 plus 2.
And I'll take another 7 hit points, and that is my turn.
Okay. Also, just a bit of environmental flavor here. When the shadowy wisps are like reaching on you guys and restraining, causing necrotic damage, you're seeing them like tear shadowy essence from your bodies, almost like they're ripping your shadow from you. On Dur'Morhen's turn, Toby Rama. It's so faint you almost don't hear it. But you hear some sort of language being uttered, like an incantation being made, and it's not from the beast right in front of you. It's the language that Telperion and Roulette and Jiri all know, and you hear it from far off the distance, just like some sort of arcane spell being cast. And the entire environment is lit up in bright, bright daylight that immediately dispels the darkness around Dur'Morhen. And Dur'Morhen turns around looking for the source of it with rage. And you see the shadowy fiend recoiling in pain as this daylight is illuminating everything. You still see Dur'Morhen bear down on you guys as his prey, the source of his anger. But circumstantially in the environment, things have just changed a little bit. And it will make its next attacks on Telperion. No longer with advantage since the magical darkness around it was dispelled.
I'm restrained.
Oh, it does have advantage on you then. Scimitar. 27. Scimitar. 6, 12.
I'll shield.
And then a 19 for some more.
All three hit.
Okay. So, yeah, how much are you shielding? 6, 18 total, or
6.
no,
So
30 total
subtract
damage.
6 from that.
24.
Yeah. 24 damage to Telperion.
18 after the 6 negated.
Oh shit.
Well, no,
My
no,
bad.
it was a 30 total. And
Yeah,
then
it's 30
6 is
total.
negated. 6 plus 12 plus 12.
No, oh, because the piercing and acid. Sorry, I thought that was 2 separate.
Yeah. So 24 damage to Telperion, but that is all of its turn. It is using its fury, and in this, although you notice it like seemed to heal a little bit from its enervating breath from previously, like you guys have wounded this creature a lot. And that is its turn. Telperion, you are up.
I see Jiri is awake next to me.
Yeah, you see breath in him, though what you see is not the familiar form of Jiri. Tim, what does Jiri look like right now?
Jack's back.
I mean, I don't know. What do I look like? You like? What do you mean?
Jiri's form, still dressed in similar clothing than he was wearing, no longer resembles an air genasi.
Gotcha. Jiri now has like gray skin and is much shorter, smaller, and it's just like and covered in his clothes. They don't fit like they once did.
Does he have white hair?
He is bald.
He does not look like Jax. But that's what you see on the ground next to you. But you do see that creature breathing with consciousness coming to them, although minimally.
Okay. I cast Mind Sliver on him.
On
Dur'Morhen.
the beast.
Yeah.
Dur'Morhen. Okay. It will make an int save.
Gotta be a 13.
With a nat 2, it's not going to do it. It definitely deals damage to this thing.
Takes 7 psychic damage.
Okay. It reels in pain from that hit. Is that it for Telperion? I didn't mean
No, I got a bonus
Preemptively.
action.
Okay.
How hurt does he look?
He looks the equivalent of bloodied for what a normal creature would look. So he's looking pretty bad. He's like worse than bloodied.
I gotta protect myself with what I can here. I guess I'll just psionic surge.
Okay.
Second wind essentially. Yeah, 7 HP.
Roll it.
No, 8.
Okay.
It's really bad. That's all.
Okay. Toby Rama.
Well, that just got a good chunk back.
Yeah, Toby Rama, just some more sensory information for you. You see Jiri on the floor, not looking like Jiri. And you see the shadow. Dur'Morhen is angry and injured and desperate, but you see its shadow reeling in pain. You see like steam coming off of it in the bright daylight that now suffuses this entire environment.
I do want to also add, you see Telperion looks really hurt too.
Yeah, I saw you holding up your 2. Well, now that I can finally see people I want to restore hit points to, I will upcast Healing Word.
Okay.
On, I guess, Telperion.
I don't even know what the right move is, so I can't even.
Not roulette.
Yeah, I know not roulette.
I did just take 24
Oh,
damage.
Telperion, I should have said this because it may have affected your turn depending on how your turn went. When the daylight appeared, not only was it a strong enough light that it dispelled his magical darkness, but the tendrils of wisps, shadows beneath all of you guys were disapparated as well.
That changes everything.
They were equivalent to the level of arcane prowess that the magical darkness had.
I would have swung twice and been healing on those swings too. I mean, I'm at a disadvantage actually with the attack anyway. Oh no, I'm not restrained. I should have said that. Yeah, it's not too far past your turn, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah, I would have done that differently. I would have swung over here.
Pause really quick. Lose 8 hit points, and then Critter, your Dur'Morhen gets 7 HP back from the mind.
Yes. Yeah.
Why am I losing?
Because you healed as a bonus action.
Oh yeah, we'll see what happens after this, I guess. I might do my bonus action differently. Okay, so I don't know if Jiri's or whatever that is enough to help, but I'm gonna get on the opposite side and swing with my sword.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna say Jiri on the ground prone is not functionally aggressing Dur'Morhen enough to give you advantage in this advantageous flanking position, but your sword attacks are certainly not disadvantaged. So go ahead and just roll 2 straight attacks.
Okay. First attack, a 3.
Okay.
Second attack, nat 16.
That's definitely gonna hit. Yeah.
Yeah, 23. I make contact with this one. I'll definitely be adding my a psionic surge to this.
Okay.
And I yell. I wrote this out. Boy Dagram Gilding Mathor, which means you'll battle with a warrior of silver spark. As I swing at it.
Dope. So you deal I guess I don't know what you deal yet.
So 2d8, a d4, and a d6. Oh, I'm sorry, I did. I'm adding 6 to whatever I'm about to say. This is my only weapon in hand.
Got it.
Oh, that's really good. Oh my god. All right. So the 4 is the psychic was 4, so I heal 4.
Okay.
If it takes that damage.
It definitely seems to. Yeah. Yeah.
So 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 4 is 19, plus an additional 6 is 24 damage.
25.
It's really, really, really big hit.
25 damage.
You see this thing's looking rough. You just carve into its chest and it's just a smattering of black ichor just was sprayed onto the ground and it's now like steaming as it hits the bright sunlight.
Okay. And then I'm going to instead of healing myself, I'm gonna try to it's looking really hurt, you said?
It's looking pretty hurt.
Quick toss or heal.
This is a you choice. You literally just taunted it.
I did. I'm gonna quick toss. It's at disadvantage though because I'm right next to it. Oh wait, no, I can try to push it back 5 feet, and it has
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's my bonus action if I do that. I'm silly.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I'm so sick of letting this thing do disadvantage. The shadow's about to have its turn, and then Toby's about to have his turn.
Or Toby Shadow Jeremy.
I'm gonna quick toss at it.
Okay. Disadvantage, but you very quickly and adeptly.
Hi, Mary.
You are able to quick toss. Go ahead and roll that real quick.
Okay. I'm gonna say that I drop my sword to do the quick toss with one hand.
Okay.
And that's for free,
Yep.
and then I'll pick it up with my free interaction afterwards.
Fair enough.
I rolled a nat 1 and an 8.
Yeah, so unfortunately your blade just goes right past it off in the
If I
distance.
rolled
But
more ones this fight, it would be crazy. I pick up my sword and I stand there and I glare at it, and I
Okay.
get 6 HP.
Now Toby Rama's turn.
6 HP. Yeah. Vaporeon, you get 10. And then I'm gonna run in right here.
MK, how much do you get from that?
4.
Oh yeah, it will refresh your temps even if you already had some.
So I'm at 17 with temps. And I'm gonna take, that was a bonus action, so for my action I'm gonna take a potion out and put it in the mouth of this thing that is wearing Jiri's clothes.
Okay. Okay.
2d4
Yep, you can go ahead and do that.
plus 2.
Nice.
7 to the entity.
You heal 7. So yeah, Jiri, you heal 7 points.
That's my turn.
And if they would, your temps would refresh again, but still just 4. That's your turn. As it's the Shadow's turn, the environment has dramatically affected this thing's composure, and you see it just flee. And it no longer has incorporeal movement. You see this thing has like baked into its form some version of solid form. And so if anyone wanted to, they could make an attack of opportunity as it tries to flee.
Dang.
Yeah, so you unfortunately miss with the unarmed strike. But as it tries to flee, and functionally it's going to kind of go off screen, but it tries to flee and then it's like stopped in its tracks trying to flee. And you see on the ground, barely lit from the daylight, like a tether that is all along the ground that ties this thing to Dur'Morhen. It seems to not be able to get more than a certain distance away from him, but it is using all of its movement trying to force its way further away. And it will functionally take the dodge action. Jiri, it is your turn. 1 hit point prone.
Am I dead or?
You have 7.
1 hit point
So
and
8.
prone.
So
oh
8.
yeah, sorry. 8 hit points and prone. And you're wearing very baggy clothing.
I don't know what. Okay, so I'm very confused, but I will just reach into my tabby pocket and find the potion and just drink it.
Okay. What potion is that? Is that a healing or a greater healing or anything?
Let's see, whatever one I find. Where is it? Potion of greater healing. Here it is.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll it. 44 plus 4.
Nice.
For 13 extra. Nice. You're above 20, man. All right, so that's a bonus action to ruffle through your pockets and down that contents.
And as an action, I will try to reset my mind and find Jiri and like get back into the Jiri mindset.
Give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, what is that for you?
Better
Like
at
12?
14?
I think that's enough. Your Jiri senses come back to you for free. But you are still confused by why is my clothes baggy? Why is my skin this color? But you, in your mind, you are Jiri once more.
Okay. And that didn't cost my action, you said?
Correct. That was just to alert yourself.
Okay, then I would be very confused, like distracted by my hands, and I will stare at them and try to make them go back to normal.
Okay, that you are able to do. It will be your action to do so, but casting your spell is fully functional, and you are able to return your form to Jiri.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, so don't know what's going on through your heads as you all see this, but Jiri shifts into Jiri. And that is your action, bonus action, and I imagine you get up and stand up.
Yeah, I'll stand up.
Okay. All right,
Just look
that'll do
very
it for you.
confused and dazed and like not sure what's going on.
Roulette, it is your turn.
Roulette crawls over to Alfie for the second time, seeing him dead. Is not very happy. I think I did that wrong last time because it's 1 plus 3. No, 2, 5. And she's gonna reach in and find the wand of magic missiles,
Okay.
pull it out, and just like a
We'll say functionally that's the same as drawing a weapon. So free interaction.
Yeah, free interaction.
And you find it.
Pull that out. I know where it's stored in there.
Right.
Pull it out, and like a gun, I'm just gonna stare, and I'm gonna dump the final 3 charges into Dur'Morhen.
But there's one left in the wand, right?
There are 3 left in the wand.
We're using all of
Yep.
them.
And using all the remaining, so it's 5d4 plus
Plus 5. Yep. All right, and as you do so, I think go ahead, give me a d20 roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so you feel it like it putter out as if it has never been this empty before, but it still remains intact in your hand. And dealing 13 force damage to it.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Oh my god. Fuck, I want to use a bonus action first. Like right for its actually no. Ooh, these are gonna be fun because I am using. There's 5 darts. Leg, arm, pregnant pause, chest.
Okay. So as these darts of magical arcane force spiral into its various forms, you're what's it called in Ireland? It's like like not handicapping, it's kneecapping. You're kneecapping this freaking beast. And its arms are sundered, it blown apart, and you see its whole form just collapse into this like tar-like ichor goo that just steams from the sunlight hitting it, and you see the tether linking it to its shadow just dissipate, and that shadow is just dispersed into sunlight.
Oh, good. Okay. Bonus action immediately, and this would have been a knee-jerk reaction. I will toss out Moby 4 and cast Healing Spirit underneath Telperion. Underneath Telperion, and just for the actual flavor of it, it literally just spurts out like healing mist, and then it does a little light show, and it looks like it's Alfie just handing out potions.
Okay. So it looks like a little Alfie?
And so there's
or it's just like identical to Alfie.
I throw a tiny ball, and then it starts spitting out gas, but then there's like a projection of Alfie.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And Telperion heals for 3 points on your turn.
On mine?
On the start of your turn.
You also see as Dur'Morhen is reduced to this tar-like goo that is now steaming and like evaporating from this space. Its sword also clattered to the ground and is now just sitting in a pool of like brinish ichor acid.
I levitated out.
You're able to levitate out, and let's take a bio break there.
I have to pee.
That 11 is to you, Jiri.
Thank you.
And then I'll do 6 to me, 8 to me.
Oh, don't heal me.
7 to Roulette.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do a bio break and meet back here in a second.
Just healed 10 from my second win.
Bro,
That's crazy.
Tim, that was such a true strike to my heart when you said if wishing he had a healer. I was like, oh, I feel miserable.
Sorry.
Bro, I want to ask this, and maybe you could give your opinion too. I was thinking, like, we're in magical darkness. Could I grab your body, not sing you, and cast healing word on you if you're in my arms?
Probably, right? Like,
But
if you're, like...
It
I feel
says
like that would count.
that you can see within range. So, like, I
Do
feel
you
like...
not have Cure Wounds today?
Not today.
There you go.
I was preparing attacking spells today. And all of my attacking spells are necrotic damage, which I wasn't gonna waste him having resistance on those.
Imagine a cleric that tries to attack instead of healing.
Well, my whole thing was I was so pissed off from the bandits that I was in a killing mood this morning.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Oh my god. Well, it's also
I should be
just
dead,
like
dead. You
yeah.
guys should be carrying around Jerry's dead body now.
Nah, I would have scroll of revivified you.
Oh yeah. Damn, dude, I'm 1 on a death saving throw. That was like the worst time. Even if I had drank a potion that one turn, I knew I was gonna die either way.
What is the word I'm looking for? That whole fight, I felt defeated, just like the whole time.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I should have just drank the fucking potion instead of trying to teleport, but Jerry would have done that.
Well, because I'm out of spell slots, I'm gonna change my spells, but that won't come into effect until we take a long rest. But yeah, daylight is definitely now on my go-to prepared spells. Oh my god.
Man, it could have been worse. We could have all died.
I mean, I was like mentally preparing for that.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, his attacks were just doing so much damage that like all of us were 2 hits away, essentially, even though we had like somewhat good HP.
I'm trying to think of like strategically what we could have done better. Not much.
You are muted.
I didn't realize it was not looping. It was supposed to loop on the same song. It was doing upbeat Horizon music. I don't want that right now.
Hypothetical for you, Christopher. In that magical darkness, if I am holding a body in my arm that I want to cast healing word on, could I?
I mean, this gets to the point of like,
Yeah.
like just unfortunate D&D. Like, I'm not gonna just like always, even if it's reasonable, say yes, it's reasonable to do so, because it's like it was made. The game was designed for this. So
yeah,
I think that would be reasonable, but no, we should probably stick to the rules on that. But you all exist in a chamber full of bright daylight. A pool of ichor just continuing to evaporate away on the ground, and Telperion, you were able to telekinetically lift the sword out of that.
They were all.
You do not hear a response.
Let's get out of this freaking tunnel.
Just give me 1 second. I need a minute.
Oh yeah.
And
Can I aid you with my mending at all?
I don't need it. I just need a minute and a spell slot. So I will. I'll start casting mending I guess I will upcast mending in my mind. That's what it is, because mending is a cantrip. I need a first level spell slot. I will upcast mending to super work on it using the smith's tools and just bringing Alfie back to a functional form.
Perfect. You are definitely able to do so, for sure.
I'll say for this, he's no longer he no longer has ostrich mode. He just has quadruped spider mode.
Gotcha.
So I can really.
So as you're over the length of a minute, just in channeling your spell slot worth of energy into it, you see like the arcane magnetism like snap him back into form and unbuckle portions of his dented metal form, and so you are able to restore Alfie over that minute, no longer slain.
Jiri lies down and refuses to move or speak. He is comatose.
I check out the sword. Does it look super evil?
It looks pretty gnarly. It's like a scimitar, but scimitars naturally have like a very clean, elegant swoop to their blade. This one has that swoop in form, but it's like jagged edges. It's a gnarly looking blade, but it just looks like an iron sword. Nothing strange looking about the metal specifically, but it is a nasty looking blade.
It doesn't seem like coated in like evil and darkness and like dripping acid or anything.
Are you just like levitating out in front of yourself?
Yeah, I'm debating putting it in my quiver to like get rid of it later somewhere else, but I'm like trying to decide like, is this thing gonna destroy my quiver if I put it in there? Is it like smoking?
It's not like smoking or anything. There's no visual phenomenon accompanying its gnarled form. But it definitely seems like it has a sheen to it that is definitely enhanced magically past the level of a standard sword.
I'm just gonna put it in my quiver and deal with it later.
Are you grabbing it to stow in your quiver?
I was gonna levitate it in.
Okay, you're welcome to levitate it into your quiver.
Okay.
I walk over to Jiri, and I'm assuming Toby, because Toby looks like he's over there. Jiri, you took a pretty big hit over there, and she's trying to keep a straight face as much as possible, because she's terrified.
Over the course of a couple seconds, like absolutely by the time Roulette's done with Alfie, all of the black tar-like ichor from under that creature has fully evaporated and is gone.
Jiri does not respond to you, Roulette, and is just like staring, like blankly.
Do you?
Not at anything in particular.
Are you still in small gray form, or?
Oh, he looks like Jerry.
I don't look like Jiri.
Oh, okay. I would like to look around and see if I can find the blue. It's probably not blue because it would have been dispelled at some point. But the rock that I had given Jiri, the blue rock, because I know he last left it somewhere at the foot of the statue.
Yes, you're able to find it, and it is, as you suspected, the light of it had been permanently dispelled as the magical darkness appeared.
I will quickly take out my sun dropper tool and imbue it with that same bright blue light. Jiri, you drop this, and I'm gonna just like force it into his hand. I know we took a couple of hits, but I think we should probably get out of here, or at least start moving forward, or see whatever the hell is making this light.
Jiri will take it, and he'll look at it for a second, and you'll see his eyes, like, they were foggy, now they're trying to, like, refocus again, and he shakes his head, and he, like, looks up, and he recognizes you, and he says, Roulette, I was there. I was in Jolland. I went home. But I'm back.
A bit sooner than expected.
It wasn't like it usually is there. The castle had a big storm cloud over top of it. And it wasn't blue anymore. It was dark and gray. And all the flowers, the big flowers, they were all dead. It was sad there.
Well,
it's sad in here too.
It's pretty sad in here.
I don't want to go back now, if it's gonna be like that.
Well, I think the only way it's gonna get back to its blue, true blue, is if you bring it there. And I will like nudge and point to the stone.
You're right, Roulette. You always know how to cheer me up.
Maybe he had a vision of something, but I'm certain, nothing's ever set in stone. So we'll get you back there. Whether it is grayed out and we need to bring it back to blue or something else, we'll make sure we get you back to the throne. We'll get you back to Jolland, the blue Jolland.
And he says, you're right, Renette. You always know how to cheer me up. But he doesn't seem too cheerful. And when he gets up, and he looks like he's ready to go.
I help him up whether or not he needs it.
But yeah, he'll grab onto you and like put most of his weight on top of you, Telperion.
I pat the top of your head to see if it's there.
It's there. His cheery form is fully as you expect it to be.
I didn't see what happened. Did you just faint? It was dark when you went down, or whatever. Did you go down?
I think so. I think it got me.
But you didn't. Like, you came back up on your own. Couldn't have been. Was it that bad?
I don't know. Like I said, I was here fighting it in the darkness, and then all of a sudden I was back in Jolland. It was dark there, and something, I don't know, I didn't want to stay. So I guess I came back here. I'm confused, Telperion. I don't know what happened.
Are you feeling hurt now?
I feel better than I did. But I just feel confused. More so than ever.
I want to try something, but I think it would hurt you.
Maybe later then. Not now.
Okay.
Pull a torch to me. That's disenchanted.
Is there a source to this like bright light that we can tell?
It seems fairly sourceless. It's just an enormous volume of daylight. It is as if there's no cavern ceiling to this space. It is fully daylight in here.
And there's like now that we took his sword, there's literally no sign of him.
Nope, he was reduced into some kind of black goo that evaporated. His shadow dispersed into nothingness as soon as he was slain.
I wish his corpse was still here so I could cut the hands off it and burn them.
So I guess the question is, do we push forward or retreat back out and rest for a bit before making our way through the rest of this tunnel?
I want to push forward, but I wonder.
Yeah.
I just wonder if it has a layer more specific to it, because Cyril said this thing devoured the shades of people. I don't know if it would just I don't know if there'd be any like mementos that we could set free or anything. I guess we should just keep an eye out for if there's some kind of space where it might have actually dwelled as we leave. What do you think, Toby?
I don't want to be in this cave anymore today. This is apparently the only way forward, but I'm spent.
Why don't we push on and just see if it's a quick jaunt or if it's going to be an actual delve? If it is, we could go back to where Cyril was.
I'll say with general passive investigation and perception, especially illuminated by daylight, the only other direction you see indicated in this chamber is southward. Well, south is the wrong word to use, but like downward on the map, where you see that like collection of like rubble that kind of forms like a loose landslide of stacked stones up against each other. Certainly not something probably structurally sound, but seems to be the only indication of another way to go.
Is it like floor to ceiling, or is it like mound of rock that we have to crawl over?
It's like floor to ceiling, but again, it seems structurally not sound.
Oh, okay. Well,
like something had piled rocks up in a space as high as they would go.
Okay. I'm gonna tell everyone to get back. I'm gonna do this now, so I can do it again later. But I'm gonna hold in my hand. I'm just gonna try to pull, like, I can affect a large object, so I'm going for the largest piece. I'm gonna try to pull it forward and down and just try to, like, destabilize this thing.
You pull one boulder that you sense, because you've moved pianos and boulders before. You sense one that you think you can affect that one. And after a bit of exertion, you pull it free, and the whole thing comes down and collapses, kind of getting uncomfortably close to wherever you guys are standing. But the second you saw that cascade happen, sunlight is just streaming in from the other side.
Like, we can see the sunlight, or just
You can
more of
see-
this weird shit?
You can see outside of, well, yeah, I mean, it just seems you can see a pathway that leads up toward mountain terrain past there, seemingly an end of the cavern.
Hyperion, take me to the sunlight. I want to see the sky.
Want to hop on my back? Or should I hold you up front?
Yeah.
And he'll climb on top of you.
All right. I piggyback Deary out of here.
Okay. All right, well, you guys, if you're proceeding forward that way, you guys once more come to just general mountain terrain. You don't see these city walls, but that's just kind of the default thing I've used.
Before leaving, Roulette is definitely just gonna, like, take a moment with Alfie and, like, do cursory cleanup, and, like, she, like, the thing can't be fixed anymore, but she's double, triple, quadruple checking everything. And she's probably, yeah. And then we'll make her way last out, giving one last look at that weird little statue in the middle of the room.
Okay. You guys are able to exit the cavern entrance. Jiri, you see the sky. And Jiri, when you're looking at the sky, you also feel like an absence of other pervasive minds in your brain. Your thoughts are very, very clear as Jiri right now. And you don't feel that other presence in this moment that you always consistently feel.
That makes Jiri scared right now in this moment.
Just like walk in 5-10 minutes. What's happening? Just more mountainous.
It's a bit more mountainous terrain, but you guys are heavily up the side of Mount Alethir. Like you guys have already journeyed to the point where you're now making your ascent on the final mountain, and this cavern was impeding your way further up, but you suspect it might not be more than maybe an hour's more journey to reach the summit.
I think we pushed through. But wait, does anyone know? Did you hear? Was it when that light came on? Did it sound like Cyril? Was it in Elvish? Did only someone was?
I heard some Elvish.
Toby Rama
chanting.
is the only person that heard it, as it seemed to be cast from some far spot, and he seemed to identify as, oh, I've heard that language before. I don't know what they're saying, but that's an Elvish phrase. None of the rest of you heard it. The sunlight just appeared.
Then I'll rephrase my question from Toby, and it's like, did anyone notice anything with when the sunlight came on? Obviously, the creature didn't do it. Do you think it was a spell? And I pose that to the group because I don't know any better.
More than me.
I heard some muttering just before it happened, so I guess it could have been a spell, but not one I cast.
I'm gonna attribute it to Cyril then, since he was a priest. I don't know anything else to do with that. Is anyone hurt besides Jerry?
I'm above half.
Toby, I think if you had to cast your spell, I would have gone down too. The first one that made me feel stronger, like healthier.
Oh yeah, aid. Yeah.
Is that what you call it? Aid?
Or sorry, Toby's regenerative back pats.
Is that trademark?
Copyright
You
TM.
should copyright
Rights
that.
reserved.
Well,
If it's
Jerry,
that
what do you want?
close.
Jerry, I brought you to the sunlight. Do you want to walk from here on out? Or are you going to hang on for a while? Have a rest and a thought.
I'm gonna hang on for a while. I
All
feel
right, get comfortable.
tired.
I'm going to hand my pack to Alfie so I can more easily hold Jerry.
Alfie's got it.
All right. Well, you guys are free to continue your mountain climb. And in about an hour and a half or so, after some slow travel and then picking up pace onto what you're normally comfortable with, you do come to an area of the mountain terrain where you're very high up, and now you're seeing stone steps that have been carved from the mountainside that continue to lead up a couple more 100 feet.
As we're walking, I'm going to try and sneak 3 more stones that are lit up blue into Jerry's pockets.
Okay. Are you truly trying to sneak them in? Do you want to make a
Yes.
sleight of hand check? Go for it. Jerry, you can roll perception or let your passive dictate.
I will. Yeah, I mean Jerry's kind of out of it, so he'd probably fail.
Okay. Yeah, I think you do it, Roulette.
As we walk, Telperion is going to start like singing some lullabies in Elvish, just like to himself. Loud enough for Jerry to hear, though.
Okay. Well, you start to mount the steps leading upward a couple 100 feet. They wind and switch back a bit. And then as you start to come to a opportunity of the terrain where it seems to level off into some version of a plateau to the summit, there's 2 stone pillars fixed onto each side of the stone staircase's peak, and 2 individuals seem to be just sitting on top of each of those stone pillars.
Really quick, before we get to them,
Sure.
Telperion, Jerry's gonna ask you.
Those are nice, Telperion. What language is that?
My language is Elvish. You speak it.
Oh,
I don't know why you speak it, but you do.
I don't think that's Elvish. I don't understand any of those words.
It's probably just a weird family song from the Loon songs. I'm assuming you got like colloquialisms or something. It's probably all it is. Just words that he might not know. Because I fully understand what you're singing.
I side-eye Roulette to try to figure out why if she's like to just try to interpret.
If you wanted, you can make an insight check or just for free, like.
I think I catch on without it,
Yes, slowly catch on, yeah.
and then I pause. So I say, well, Jerry, you know Make of Onin, right? That's the one I always say most. What do you think that one means?
Oh, I don't. What does that one mean again?
Fair greetings.
Oh, okay. I'll remember it this time.
When you're feeling better, I'm definitely going to try what I was telling you I wanted to.
What do you want to do it now?
You up for it?
What is it?
Oh, I was gonna, reach into your mind and see what happens.
That sounds pretty scary.
It might hurt, but I think you're kind of tough.
I don't feel too tough right now.
Maybe tomorrow morning then. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's wait until tomorrow.
Okay. Here's the easiest one, and I'll pick as we're walking just one of the easiest lullabies, and then I'll tell him what it means in common.
It's row your boat in Elvish.
Just an easy one. And you kind of complete that on your final ascent. And then you come up maybe 30 feet within these two individuals sitting on top of these two pillars, and you can definitely see building structures further past them, and like a small bit of additional trail that seems to wind back and forth through like a small village. And at the very back of the village is the very final peak of the mountain. And those two individuals seem to be dragonborn individuals. One is silver and one is green, and they're just meditating. They're just set into a very peaceful, contemplative pose, and their eyes are closed.
I'm gonna say hello.
I nudge Jerry and I go, Megavonin, Megavonin.
Megavonin.
And I say it with
I
Jerry.
say
Megavonin.
And I'm Telpyrion's back, like peeking around.
Yoda-ing.
Yeah.
As you reach out and say something to these individuals, they don't open their eyes or alert themselves to your presence. They both just, like, in perfect synchronicity, just open their arms out and gesture in towards for you to proceed.
Much appreciated.
No nod of acknowledgement, just their hands continue to extend, their eyes closed, still meditating. And I will go ahead and move us into here.
They're wearing
Very, very simple, like borderline burlap clothes. But they seem to be thick, so just thick robes. And as you move past them, an individual approaches you from in front. They also seem to be dragonborn, but different in scale color than you've ever seen. Like a cyan blue color with that like fades to specks of white throughout their scale pattern. Very different from like an iconic blue dragonborn you guys would have seen at this point, or other color variations. And they approach you. Greetings, travelers, and welcome to the village of Inawe, the home of the Metamorphi. Oh no, Steve's laughing. What did I do?
No, this is a Steve thing.
Oh my god, I did it right.
Nice.
Holy shit.
I am Nasir, monastic superior of our order. You must be weary from your travel.
Quite a bit.
Please, allow us to make accommodations for you to rest. They nod toward a nearby copper-colored dragonborn who also has strange scale patterns as their copper color kind of transitions to like a deep green coloration, and they bow deeply and make their way elsewhere. And Nasir speaks up once more. While your quarters are prepared, I would ask, what brings all of you this way?
I like motion to see if Jerry wants to hop down now. Or if he clings tighter as I like motion or like
He'll slide off, but he'll still like lean up against you, but he's not gonna say anything.
I'll put my arm around him just to keep him up.
King Mordecai actually sent us, and I know I do appreciate that your reaction to 4.5 Unil is a bit more welcoming than the rest of Chimeras, but it has been warm down in Chimeras. But we've come to pretty close terms with King Mordecai of the past month-ish, and he sent us. Nothing more than telling us, make it to the village and see what we can do to help.
I see. Very well. Yes, you are as welcome here as the rest of our mortal kin. We do not differentiate between Udinil and Villian here. But please, let us journey through the streets of our village and find your abode.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
And this individual leads you, kind of winding through different portions of this town as it switches back and forth. And there seems to be very clearly some kind of large structure looming in the distance built into the mountain way further ahead. But as they lead you back and forth, I'll go ahead and move us. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Those doors.
They lead you here. They lead you here to this hut where that copper and green colored dragonborn individual has seemingly just emerged from a house, and its sliding door is left open for you to proceed. Nasir speaks up and says, "We will station someone outside your room. Please let us know if there is anything you need. I would that you would recuperate from your day of travel, and we will come retrieve you as soon as you have had opportunity to rest."
What time of day is it right now? Is it like getting to dusk?
It's like evening. Yeah, there's still daylight out in the general sky.
Is there someone we could buy some food from so we don't have to resort to rations for the third day?
We will bring you food, of course.
I hate to impose, but my friend's been harmed today. Never mind. Well, that sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Very well. If you wish to meditate in the gardens, there are various spaces throughout the village that are amenable for such a contemplative mindset. Otherwise, let me know if you need anything before we come retrieve you. And as you guys are kind of looking around in the general space, people seem to be going about their days here. You see various clusters of dragonborn individuals meditating in certain spaces, people coming in and out of houses, just carrying food or water in certain directions. All of them dragonborn, and all of them have some sort of altered physiology to them. None of them are what you would consider a classic blue dragonborn or red dragonborn or gold dragonborn, etc. All of them have strange variations to their color patterns.
Is it just like the colorations and not like I have 5 tails?
Correct.
Okay. Interesting.
Go in the house. Take off the heavy armor.
Toby's on the roof.
So you guys are left available to do what you wish.
I start unpacking all of my tools and having Alfie arrange them so I can clean them.
Do you have identified today? I don't want to look at that sword again, but maybe tomorrow we could.
Oh, that sword. Oh, that sword you took from our little cave dwelling friend.
He was so nasty.
Hey, that was not really fun. Well, I guess we did that deed for Cyril, though, so kind of grand scheme of things, we have our foot in the door with the nobility of Belladonia. How's everyone feeling? I know I could use a nice rest.
Yeah, nice rest. I did no lasting damage. I got really close to passing out, but some quick healing work from our friend did it. Jerry, how's your brain?
It hurts. I'm confused and tired. I'm gonna go lie down. And he just lies down wherever he is. Like in the middle of the room.
Okay. Well, are you hoping to all bed down for the night?
Sleepy, sleepy.
I want to go
That is-
meditate in the garden before bed.
Okay. Okay. That's totally fair game. So I assume at this point everyone could have functionally full health points, probably, since the short rest is free game here. And then if before long rest happens, yeah, if you guys want to have any additional conversations or things you want to pursue, please let me know. So Telperion, certainly, as you gather yourself and rest and stitch together some of your wounds and stuff, you're free to journey outside the abode and make your way to a garden.
Yeah,
And you actually see Nasir kind of leading a meditation off in a direction on a cliff that kind of overlooks the eastern ocean.
Oh, I go sit down with them.
Okay. Mostly they're all just doing breathing exercises. And then over the course of 30 minutes, half an hour or so, Nasir says, "Thank you." And everyone kind of gets up, and he'll pull you to the side afterward as the others kind of disperse and just say, "I do not mean to pry. Is there anything that your meditation guides you toward? Is there anything you wish to know about our meditations?"
My pause right now is Telperion's pause. I've been learning a lot about other cultures lately, but I feel rude saying right now I'm not very open to terribly new things because I need to process what happened to us today and then also prepare my mind for whatever I'm going to find in my friend's mind tomorrow.
Very well. Well, I urge you to always challenge yourself, even when it is not comfortable, to continue opening your mind. It has proven valuable for the monks that reside here. They are actually able to bend their natural gifts into that of other representations of the world's forces. Take me, for instance. I was born with the blue cobalt scales of ancient drakes that once walked this world and wielded lightning in their breath. But here, we need not remain shackled by the circumstances of birth. In my spirit, I find I exude a sort of delicate strength, like that of water that freezes into blades of beautiful ice. He inhales deeply, and you see, as a natural blue dragonborn might, you see kind of like a pulsing blue energy from beneath his throat and like little tiny sparks of electricity. And then he holds his breath, stasis at the zenith. And as he exhales, you see frost kind of materialize in his breath as ice crystals kind of exude from his nostrils. And then he throws a fist out to each side, and small little detonations of vapor energy come from his fingertips.
I smiled despite myself. That certainly startles my mind awake.
Yes, it is a rare gift, a different sort of capability than arcane or divine magic, even different than druidic, more primordial magic. We bend the elements that naturally course through our veins due to circumstantial heritage. But quintessentially, we are transforming the world's energy around us to better represent our identity of spirit. It is not perhaps available to everyone, but if you have such a nature where you have energy coursing through you. Should you meditate here, you may be able to find the composure to transmute those elements or embolster the ones that already remain.
I think I might benefit from meditating here then. I have, well, it's not really an element in me, but I look around for something to levitate.
Okay, yeah, there's small stones set into grass, shrines. There's apples on the floor from nearby trees.
Is there anything like medium size, like medium to large?
Yeah, there's probably like a stone statue that's not set into such a delicate spot where you think that might be of ornamental meditational import.
I point at the statue and I say, "It won't be harmed, may I?"
Certainly.
And I'll use a telekinetic movement and a side eye to lift it up, spin it around, and then put it right back. Could that be transformed?
Interesting. I wish to reflect on what I have seen. That is not a magic we transmute here. Although it does have ties to different sorts of drakes that, as rumored, once walked this plane. Not of the chromatic or metallic ancestry you may be more familiar with. A capability we have not managed to achieve.
Channel it in other ways as well. But yeah.
It still may be beneficial to meditate, and if you are not as open to broadening your mind this day, pushing through that may be available to trigger some enhanced version of that power.
Now I feel guilty for what I said, so maybe I'll try something new today then.
Very well. Well, I will leave you be. Feel free to use our gardens and meditation cliffsides whenever you wish.
I think I'm gonna meditate, and I think it's gonna turn into my trance, and I think I'm just gonna spend the whole night here. And then I'll, like meditate for 2 hours, and then I think I'll kind of fade out, and then I'll fade back in. I'm just gonna stay and chill and stay there.
Okay. Is there any version of, would you let your comrades know this is going to be the case? I just am curious if they would get, okay, so you don't necessarily return to the house, but if they wanted to and peeked their head out the window and kind of walked in a direction, they'd be able to find you there, but you are functionally able to spend your entire long rest trancing normally and meditating outside of that. Is there anything any of you other guys want to do during long rest or before or during?
Roulette would have, so on that topic, Roulette wants to go outside and work on Alfie so as to not disturb Jerry's sleep or Toby's sleep, so she would have headed out. Before heading out, she's definitely going to take out the whetstone and enchant one of the rocks to just be like the sound of a gentle breeze, just nonstop on just a very gentle white noise repeat. And she'll probably at least get some sort of blanket and put it over Jerry before heading out.
He's gonna grab you before you leave, because he's got his little stones. He's not sleeping. He's got your blue stones that he's just looking at, and he grabs you, Roulette, and he says, "Roulette, I can't hear the music anymore."
What music are you talking about?
I don't remember his name. My friend. He used to play me music. I don't hear it anymore. It's gone.
Was this someone from Jolin? You were in a band, weren't you, or something back in Jolin? You mentioned, or they had like big. Was this someone from the airplane or the?
I don't remember. I just remember the music.
Do you remember what kind of instrument it was?
I think it was a flute.
Give me 1 second. and I will just like, I know what a flute is. So I will take, and I'll cycle through the stones really quick and I'll hand them back to Jiri, but I will replace the sound of the gentle breeze with just like it's super gentle, rhythmic, arpeggio scale kind of thing with the sound of a flute on a repeat, with little fluttery trills and gentle stuff that's on a 6-second loop. And I'll place it down. Was it something like this?
Yes. Thank you, Roulette. Much better now.
Yeah, we can I don't think any of us is particularly musically talented, but we can definitely make some music and figure out whoever this friend of yours was.
Thank you,
And
Roulette.
I will re-enchant. I'll
Let go of
re-enchant
you
the,
and
I'll re-enchant the rock so that 3 of them are blue, 1 of them is playing the music.
Also, Jiri, you have noticed over the course of the travel, and certainly now as you're kind of your heart rate's kind of dropped and you're getting more calm and more wits about you, you are shivering quite a bit. It's cold, and it's of note as you guys proceeded up and further into the peak, it continued to get a little colder until you were near the steps of that final ascent, and it has not been uncomfortably cold at all here on the mountain peak. But Jiri is noticeably shivering.
So I'll take the blanket that Roulette gave me, I'll wrap myself in it, and I'll take the stone and just listen to the music and just stare at the stone for a while.
Oh yeah, and I will, having noticed Jiri shivering, and we have just camped for 3 nights using this item, I will get the magic brazier out. Thank you. And I'll set that off to the side near Jiri for some warmth. Jiri, you get some rest. We'll have some I think some fun conversations with all this Dragonborn in the morning.
Okay, I'll try.
When you get that magic brazier set, Roulette, being an inquisitive mind, you wonder if outside of a tent environment would heat build up in here and would it get very uncomfortable. But it not only does this fire not create any smoke, but it also just maintains a very comforting level of heat in the space.
Nice little space heater. I will and Jiri, if you need anything, just give Moby 3 a tap. And I will take Moby 3 off my belt and place it in front of Jiri. Upon saying the name Moby 3, does Jiri react at all?
Moby. I wonder what happened to Moby.
Well, which that little gentleman that was helping you out when you first got to Forest Hollow?
No, not my Moby. Shadow Moby. I don't see him anymore.
Oh, Shadow Moby, right.
All my friends, they're all gone. Besides you 3.
Alfie will instinctively poke you.
Oh, and Elfie, of course. You 4. You 5, including Moby 3.
I'm sorry to hear you can't really hear them anymore. Good night's sleep. Let's do that. Small steps. We got a heavy day of travel behind us and a nice warm bed in front of us. How about we get to sleep and we talk about it more in the morning.
Thank you, Roulette. You're a really good friend.
You're a good friend too, Jiri. I will pat him, leave Moby 3 in standby mode, and I will wander out with Alfie. Probably spot Telperion as I'm walking around.
Certainly.
I got my cape on.
Yeah, cape's on. I know that. I know my work. And I will
Not your friend.
purposefully find some sort of secluded place because I'm going to be loud and just like hammering away at Alfie, and I don't want to disturb the hundreds of people who are probably meditating.
There's all sorts of like alcoves that are hewn into the stone where there's like a dozen or so like separate outlooks where there is like before the peak comes to a convergence and like the absolute zenith of its height, out on the outskirts of that, like level with the main village, there's just all these like off jutting different outlooks that you're absolutely able to. People in throughout the village might hear clinging of metal, but it's still like far from people.
Before she even like swings the first hammer or touches the first thing, she is promptly going to break down and cry for like 30 seconds. Really heavy weeping, like heavy gross breathing, like boogers and shit, and then she's gonna compose herself and get to work.
Very cool.
And then I will make my way back to
working on Alfie for a duration. Anything from Toby and Jiri in the house?
Toby, or oh yeah, Toby. Anything? You can go first.
I'm out cold.
Okay. Toby Rama, when you eventually fall asleep, just familiar silver mists drifting around this endless expanse of darkness, and sometimes the mist takes on like a shadowy form that just like is borderline nightmare material from Dur'Morhen and its shadow, but otherwise just disperse harmlessly into silver mist, almost like as if flames were depicting things. The mist sometimes just gives illusions of subconscious thoughts. And Jiri, unless there's anything you want to do before falling asleep.
He's gonna just like mumble to himself like over and over again, Ja Jiri, Jarl of Jarland, Ja Jiri, Jarl of Jarland, Ja Jiri, Jarl of Jarland. You know, over and over again, his like name and his little title. Like, and
okay.
like that's who you are. You're Ja Jiri, Jarl of Jarland.
And as you do that, eventually, almost like counting sheep, it does lull you into sleep, and you just kind of collapse into the side of wherever your bedroll was set up or wherever you're sleeping. And over the course of the night, you do stop shivering. Warmth returns to your body after having been expended earlier. And when you wake up, you will have more confident and bolstered, sense of being, sense of identity again. And that is where we will grow to level 6, actually, over this long rest.
Woo!
Oh, dang.
Oh.
That makes...
And so that will happen. And as the long rest completes, and we can handle level up stuff after session, but as you guys sleep and level up and different things are thought of or different spells picked, that kind of thing, which we can flavor that stuff in the following morning. But Telperion, in the darkness, you feel a hand. This is after your natural trance has ended and you are continuing to just meditate. You feel a hand rest on your shoulder. And as you look up, it seems to be Nasir, the cyan-colored dragonborn individual, the monastic superior. Please, come with me. I would gather your allies and bring you to the peak of the mountain. They are ready to see you now.
Okay. All right.
So they bring you back to your abode. You all hear a knock on your door as Telperion helps Nasir wake you all up, sliding the door, and you all wake up. It is dark out. It's before dawn, but functionally, mechanically, the long rest has been completed. But it is still early morning before dawn. And Nasir has come to collect you. Please, follow me. You may gather your things at your discretion. You can leave everything you would like to here, but if you would like to dress for the morning. And Jiri, this is when you wake up and you do feel comfortably warm and you do have a stronger sense of your identity, and everyone wakes up fully rested and level 6.
Do I see Shadow Moby? Is he back?
He's not currently back. Do you summon him?
I try to, yes.
As you summon him, you feel a slight chilled sensation as steam emanates from your body and coalesces almost invisibly, but enough that you can tell where they are. Shadow Moby is there.
Okay. And he's starting to feel better.
An unseen squire. And as you, at Nasir's direction, follow them, they slowly depart the doorway and begin making their way through the final winding pathways that meander past the residences and eventually approach the two enormously tall, red-stained wood doors that have been set into some kind of frame hewn into the stone. Nasir nods at two additional Dragonborn in front of those two doors who pull on long tapestries that are affixed to large golden knocking rings on the doors. And once they loosen their grip, those rings clang against the wood and both doors seem to magically slowly grind open. As they open, you immediately smell a scent of some kind of sulfuric smell waft from within, like brimstone from a volcano, and a single figure emerges. A tall and lean individual approaches you, maybe 6'6" or so, slightly taller than Jiri, with very distinctly elven features. Delicate facial structure, a handsome nose, pointed ears. But this elven woman figure has a beautifully rich and warmly dark complexion and skin tone, juxtaposed by bright white braids of sun-bleached hair that are pulled along the top of their head and drape all the way down their shoulder, down their front, and all the way to the ground. The irises of their eyes shine very brightly of gold color, and they are robed in simple but elegant golden silks. Hello, far wanderers. My name is Owlithir, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance. And I think that's what we will conclude today's session. It's a little shorter than normal, but that's where I think I want to leave.
MJ, is it D&D knowledge or is it character knowledge that you're pondering?
He would think character knowledge.
This is Telperian's face right now.
Yeah, okay. For a second, I thought we were about to meet Bahamut.
This is better.
One small thing y'all would have noticed. So I did fix Alfie up to his ostrich mode, slightly more polished. But on the when he's in ostrich mode, the 4 like cardinal points of his body now have corresponding marks to the rings from our 4 Winds rings, and they glow a dull, little like sky blue. It's like the pairs of arrows in the different directions around Alfie's torso.
Very cool. Also, Telperian, I don't want to say too much, but you also feel a sense of accomplishment after your meditation, and you do think it was worthwhile pushing through and opening your mind in that meditation as you level up to level 6, I think.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
But we will level. You guys can all level up to level 6. Long rest is complete, even though it's still dark morning outside, and you have just met Owlithir.
Of Mount Owlithir.
I will say, you guys, when walking in, and then this person, Telperian, stops walking. That's probably all you notice immediately.
He starts running.
You guys definitely get a couple steps ahead.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was a session.
Oh, so it's stress.
I really want to RP something, but we didn't have time this morning to have done anything.
Yeah, no, they literally
characters.
woke up and led
Yeah.
you. There's probably was no time yet.
Uh,
But there will be opportunities for more always. But
Ooh.
I have a picture for Alethir, but I'm not ready to display it yet because there's some tweaks I want to make.
Hair color.
I can't believe I don't get to say
Partially.
anything. Like we ended, and I can't react at all or ask any questions or anything. That's such a hard part to end on, but also
Mhm.
very cinematically good.
Yes, I agree.
I don't even know what to do with that.
We climbed a mountain.
You did, and you made it here.
Made it unscathed.
Can I share something?
Pretty scathed.
Literally, most scathed. I want to share something that happened when the conversation between Telperion and Bezor, what was her name?
Nasir.
Nasir. That won't ever get shared out loud.
That's
because
fair.
it's just like an internal thing, and there's no way I would ever share it. Can I? What?
Nothing. I have a question for Critter.
Can I share it?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you saying Roulette was crying was definitely I wanted to add that when talking with Nasir, Telperion was half a second away from just hugging Nasir and starting to cry. But then Nasir started talking about their culture, and I think Telperion took a resolute comfort in that familiar sensation of having a superior who knows a lot, being that comfortable leader and also mentor relationship. And he's definitely not and so I think that rhythm of okay, let me stifle down and deal with whatever I'm dealing with and fall back into a relationship that I've been in before and go into this kind of learning mindset is how he got through the night without crying.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh no.
Critter's not going to answer this question. I know he's not. If I had cut my hand and put blood on the blade of the Tiamat statue, would anything have happened? He's not going to answer. You piece of trash.
Also, but nothing good could have happened.
I don't know.
It's a Tiamat statue. When I learned how easy it was to shake that wall and make sunlight can't come in, I did really regret that I didn't do it mid-combat, but my brain didn't go there at all.
Oh, we had no, yeah.
Oh, it feels good to be level 6. I can prevent critical hits from doing extra stuff now. Under circumstances, but
well, now I feel
I've been looking at that one for a while.
It's just funny how neutered we all just were by not being able to see. And
the darkness was a very, very, very powerful environmental variable that you guys haven't encountered before. Magical darkness is no fucking joke.
Well, also because
especially to things that can see through that magical darkness.
Oh yeah,
I need to start using
because they didn't even need to hide. They could have hid more, but they didn't need to hide because they were unseen attackers every time because they can see their prey and you can't see them.
What was What was also so brutal about it was that it kept dispelling anything we tried because it overlapped.
Which is a function of Toby Rama might suspect this if darkness is available to him. The darkness spell automatically disperses if its aura radius touches the radius of any other lower level type of light, it snuffs it out, which is crazy.
That's strong.
It is strong. So torchlight, the spell light, certainly little lights on stones, it was in the Blade of Lucent Jade, it was putting that out. Very few things as a second level spell, darkness, anything it touches second level or lower, it auto snuffs.
Yeah, daylight is now on my go-to roster of spells.
Well, also, I've never felt so grateful for the Blade of Lucent Jade before today. Because it got put out twice, but it was
but when the darkness wasn't there, it did help for sure.
Yeah, preventing the lair action in that radius.
Yeah,
scaring the shadow boy.
Critter, the reason I was laughing because for the second time, Roulette did her stuff out in public, and then Jiri did something.
Yeah, oh, that's so funny.
Jiri died.
That's so funny because the first time was public-ish, right, in the forest.
We were sleeping. She did it out. In the
Right.
cat.
So Toby caught you caught Toby's attention, but you're right. Jiri Jax happened immediately after and stole the show. Whereas, yeah, now once more, if this happened, some arcane, you could chalk it up to arcane thing Roulette did, but then something happened with Jiri that was like a little more focal point. Yeah.
I forgot to even process that we saw that happen.
Yeah.
So much was happening.
And most notably, like, I think some of you in the heat of battle you feel free to role play it in future conversations however you want, but you might be able to chalk it up to, oh, Roulette does lightning stuff, she's done it before, she did a spell. The growl was a little, at least I would say, more like, what the fuck, that does not line up with what she's done before. So
Also, I feel like there's a slight amount of like, they might have just thought it was the demon. And then someone did
That's
light
fair
magic,
too, yeah.
like somebody turned on the lights. So like it just was like, we weren't even sure. There was so much sensation happening of like, there's light, there's dark, there's light, there's dark, there's other creatures in here. Yeah, that was so confusing. For our characters, I mean.
Yeah, man. I was also straight up a little nervous that toward the end, I'm like, victory was so within sight, and then it took a really bad turn all of a sudden. And then in my head, I'm like, guys, I didn't want to say this, but I'm like, guys, victory's super in sight. Like, double down and like try and kill it. But then I'm like, oh shit, what if they think this is unwinnable? Oh shit, what if they start attacking the shadow too much, which you could have killed, but killing Dur'Morhen kills both. So it's like, I was just so curious. I'm like, this is super winnable, but I can't let them know that.
Very much mentally prepared that we might TPK. That like Jiri's first going down, I was like, oh, and we're all about 2 hits away, and he does 3 hits in a turn.
Also, another
Yeah.
small thing that I just want to like very minor look behind the curtain is I also did not want to make it like, oh shit, the DM's reeling and trying to save us with the daylight. The daylight thing, whatever happened there, was a variable planned for before this encounter if certain things went in certain ways. So like, I also wanted it to feel like it was a great opportunity, but it was like, that was not me Deus Ex Machina in saving you guys.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even like he killed the monster. Like light appeared. That's it. That's all that happened.
It allowed us to do what we normally do instead of
kind of, yeah.
Well, the hugest part also is the lack, like getting the restraint off was crazy important.
Which was failed so many times before. So
because even then, when the light came on, I was like, I still would attack at disadvantage, and I don't want to waste my action getting out of the restraint. So that factor was a game changer.
It was also amusing when I was building a stat block and stuff in D&D Beyond, because I bastardize, different types of creatures into what exactly I want this world lore creature to be. And he's a thing that exists, and there's all sorts of lore baked into everything I put in here. But it was super fun seeing a DC of 15 for all of his stuff, because some of it was like con save DC stuff. I'm like, everyone's going to save on that, because even a 15 is a high DC kind of, but everyone's really good at con. But Dex 15, no one's going to succeed on that. Unlikely, at least. Yeah. But you could muscle your way out of it, but that didn't really happen very often, if ever, either. Once, maybe, but.
Jerry, you better get ready.
Yeah, first time going down, and now and also dying.
Well, so also functionally, like, Tim, the reason for this, but like, I'm treating it as if mechanics were like it was a death, but you did not technically die because of other variables. Like, you definitely were at risk of that, and you did not technically die, but mechanically things happen as if you died.
It's funny because our character don't know that.
Right. None of you know that at all. And to all of you guys' knowledge, he was knocked out and hung in there. Like, that's it.
He wasn't even, like, to our knowledge, he wasn't even unconscious. Like, he didn't even need a pick back.
Yep, and Wand of Magic Missiles looks like almost regains all of its charges and did not break, so that's exciting.
Holy shit! Can you imagine a more depressing moment than if that had broken mid-combat?
Yeah, but also cinematically epic if it like you used everything it had in a desperate attempt and it exploded in your hand. Also, like that's cool too. But you still have it.
It was really wild looking at my equipment and all my stuff and be like, how can I make light? How much does Continual Flame cost to cast? 50?
And I already have the rubies for it. I just need to crush them down in a mortar and pestle.
Oh, do I? No, I have jade dust.
Yeah, mortal pestle is probably not enough to powder. There's probably like jewelers kit tools required for that, but you know that roulette can help you with that endeavor. Because ruby, I don't necessarily know how strong a ruby is in hardness of stone, but I would imagine a stone mortar and pestle probably couldn't successfully powder that. You'd probably require like gem filing tools.
Which roulette could magically have those for me.
Yeah, super still within your grasp. I just want to clarify. But cool. Also, another small peek at encounter design. This was not an outrageously larger challenge than some of the stuff I've thrown at you. So that's also just interesting in my own mind is like, you guys sometimes walk through combats and any of those could have taken a bad turn. Yeah. So it's just like, it's further emphasis that just because you can handle more doesn't mean I should pile on more, because this was like a barely harder than the Hydra fight.
That's what I was thinking.
And it was way harder for you guys than the Hydra fight. So that magical darkness was an absolute game changer.
I was thinking about it because I was just telling like magical darkness means we are at disadvantage on all attacks.
Disadvantage, them at advantage.
On all its attacks.
Huge swing.
Plus restrain. We can't move. We can't get to heal the person we need to touch to heal or whatever. Have to waste an action to get out of it. And then if I can't put light on us, it happens again. Like,
right.
Yeah. So it's such a challenge.
Yeah. Poor Anikos too. You don't know what anything about him is, like capabilities or otherwise, but he obviously wasn't enough, and your party of several people was almost not enough. This is a powerful entity that was reduced to ichor that evaporated into thin air. And yeah.
And we don't know if it was a fiend or a demon.
You suspect fiend, especially because part of your history with Tiamat is that Tiamat is famously locked in prison in the 9 hells. That she's like in a prison. So like her followers sometimes it's a very hellish type connection rather than abyssal type connection.
Demons are fiends.
Well, yeah, fiend is a general term that can mean devil or demon. Yeah.
What's the kind?
Yeah, that's true. So I'm saying fiendish too often, but fiend can be either.
What's a Rakshasha?
That's a devil. Hells.
And fiend is not a devil.
Fiend can mean devil or demon. Fiend is an umbrella term that basically is monstrosity. It's that overarching.
Why?
But Telperion, with the emphasis on the dragon Tiamat link there, you would suspect, based on your history information, you would suspect there was some kind of hellish influence there rather than abyssal influence.
And abyssal equals
the abyss, which is a plane. Yeah. The 9 hells are a plane, and the abyss is a plane. Just as the Feywild is a plane. Yeah.
I'm wondering if this thing comes back, like Rakshasas come back.
Yeah, Telperion might wonder that too.
That's what. I don't want to. And it's good, Mike.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know if that would be the case, but you do. I'm like, you would think, wait, is that a thing?
That's why partially when he was saying like, I wish we could have kept its body and cut it apart, like him watching it dissolve was definitely not a good thing.
And alignment wise, it would be lawful evil, right? Instead of chaotic evil.
Perhaps, not necessarily, but perhaps. Not every being in the 9 hells is lawful, but yes, in general, devils are more associated with pact making and lawful rules and hierarchies and stuff than the chaos of the abyss. But just as if the material plane doesn't have not all entities in there are forced into a rigid alignment. That's the case on any plane. But
so how much trouble did I avert by not touching the blade?
I don't know. You have the blade. You're welcome to it. You're welcome to attune it, or attune or identify it, or otherwise.
Identify for sure. As a good character, homeboy is not attuning that thing, especially when Toby's level 3 spell slots are out and he doesn't have a remove curse ready. Also, Topurian wouldn't even be tempted because that thing was so heinous.
It's pretty gnarly, but it did look sharp and magically honed.
That thing killed Anikos. No way.
Sorry to end the session early, but I think that was a great note to end on.
That was a really good spot. I really wanted to do something before.
Too bad.
I can't talk about it either, so just have to leave it there. It was even before he walked in, so it wasn't Alethir. Dude, this is gonna be the longest week ever.
We're playing on Tuesday, right? Oh no, we can't. I've weathered. Level 6. Already done.
Level 6. Love it.
I can't do it when you're in here.
Critter, I swapped one of my current 4, and I added 2. None of them are magic object, so I don't need to, or magic item, replicate magic item. So.
Oh, okay. So we don't need to worry about that special. Well, that's what I was gonna say. If one of them's even that, we should figure out what because of that custom thing adjustment.
I got rid of that. Was the one I swapped out. I got rid of replicate magic item.
Got it.
And I added 2 more. None of them have any weird options in there.
Cool. Awesome.
But I need to activate one of them right now.
So you go to character 6 or character level. You make it 6 manually with a little thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just go back to character sheet.
Wait, what?
My other campaign, we always roll hit dice when we level up, and I feel like that's so much more fun than just taking the base. Because you get to reroll ones, but there is a risk you could have it too.
It is interesting, sucks,
but
I was like about.
I just think it's more fun to roll more dice. But also, what I do like about that campaign is we started at level 2 characters, and we got full amount of hit die for each of those first 2 levels. So it's like if you're a fighter, 10 plus con and another 10 plus con for like a healthier, higher HP starting point at level 2, but then we roll for other level ups. And I'm like, that's a kind of fun way to do it, so that the weak, low level characters are a little more healthy, but it's also a little more risky to roll dice. You can also choose if you want to. You can either say, I want to roll, or I want to take the average, and then that kind of determines what you do. But
does increases to your con modifier retroactively affect your past levels?
Yep. It certainly does. Yeah, if you're a 10th level fighter and you increase your con by 1, in addition to what you got, you just get an additional 10 HP.
Yo, that's and I need to make concentrations. Ooh, I might invest into Constitution next. After
that's how any character would work. I just had fighter in mind because their thing happens.
Okay, what is your con at right now?
14.
Oh, there's a couple feats that are really cool, but it's an odd level situation. Are any of your stats odd?
All of mine with the ASI we did at 4 got me to all even.
Yeah. You probably wouldn't do this then because it would make more sense to just like put 2 on your con. But one of the things that's really cool is resilience. I think you get to choose a stat, and you it levels up that stat by 1 point, and then you get proficiency in saving throws of that stat. So like if you picked Constitution Resilience, you would then have...
you get +1 con and proficiency in con saves, which is
and focus circlet.
Yep.
That's super
Warcaster after that.
I don't know that I'm interested in Warcaster because the advantage on that is nice, but I'm never... Also, this whole fighting thing was a big secondary revelation to Toby after the bandits thing, but I'm definitely gonna be backing away from damaging spells now. So I wouldn't be reacting with spells from Warcaster as much. I would just kind of get the advantage on concentration.
What was I going to say about that? Yeah. So that would be like a very powerful one for Toby as a con resilience feat. Although it's the only problem with it, in my opinion, is, and like again, it's just very clearly mechanically and mathematically super helpful, and it just comes with no flavor. Like you're not like gaining a cool feature. It's just you are better at this thing now, which is functional in its own right and valuable. It's just not a toy you get to play with per se.
There's also con saving throws are really good too, though. Like for resisting.
I mean, I've been thinking about
resisting exhaustion and poison stuff. It's like con's a huge.
I feel like it's wisdom and con are like, and then dex for like environmental stuff.
There is an order of like how often.
Dex is the most frequent.
My guess would be dex, whiz, con. And then the others, maybe, I don't know the other
intelligence.
I've looked it up at one point.
I would rather have a better whiz save versus dex save, because like dex save is the most common, but dex saves are like, oh shit, you
less
damage.
Whiz
saves are like you're paralyzed, you're charmed and attack your friend. It's like it takes a fight more to fail a whiz save than a dex save.
Agreed.
In terms of spells, it goes dex, wisdom, con, strength, charisma, intelligence.
One of my favorite things.
I knew int would be the lowest.
One of my favorite things about having Mind Sliver, and it's just like been slowly sneaking up on me, is just like no one is good at intelligence saving throws. Nobody has it except Steve, I guess. But it's so gratifying having that knowledge of like.
It's pretty much. It's somewhat close to automatic damage. Yeah.
That's what I like about Bane too. Is that's.
I also was so curious. I'm like, it's daylight. Why is he not attacking it with his sword? And that's what. And I'm like, I didn't want to criticize Mind Sliver, but I'm like, why is he not attacking? And then that's when I'm like, oh guys, the tendrils. I meant to say that because they dispel as if they were magical darkness as well. And I just literally didn't say that. And then I'm like, oh, that would have dramatically altered his turn, and we haven't gotten too far from that yet. So I'm glad we retroactively resolved that.
Yeah, because there's no chance he would, like, knowing that would happen, he would never sit there and Mind Sliver when he's within 5 feet of a creature he's trying to swing at.
Yeah, and circumstantially, like, if we had gotten past Toby's turn and through Jiri's turn, like, I wouldn't have gone retroactively far enough back. I would have unfortunately been like, oh yeah, and now you notice that those things have withered beneath you. But it just was like, I'm glad it was close enough to the thing that we didn't have to undo history much.
Is your con 15?
No. 16.
Glad I didn't have to make a new character sheet. That's good.
We had Revivify ready. No, we didn't.
Yeah, I did. Scroll.
The scroll was available. The spell slots were gone, but
I would have came back. Another intelligence character. Having a third one.
Oh my god, a wizard.
I was gonna roll my die more, but I just like slowly leaned into the fate of doing it in front of everyone. The only rolls I did were its stealth roll before combat, which Toby and Alfie were not hit by, but everyone else was surprised by. Which I also thought that was kind of fun. I'm like, oh, that's a fun. It's kind of a penalty to some people, but the people who have a mechanical thing that can't be surprised and the super high passive perception person won't have to endure that penalty.
Wait, what? I'm so excited for level 6 and I can't talk about it.
Mine is pretty incremental and a big new like feature, but it's not like something that's gonna get, I don't know, I might think about flavoring it, but it's just like on a critical attack, it just does a normal hit's worth of damage, and any critical effects that are tied in with it also don't happen. Which is very good. It's very good.
Yeah, it is very good. Does that cost a channel divinity, or you can just do that wisdom mod times?
Yep, 4 times.
I'm at 52 HP now.
Yeah, how much?
52.
45.
Well, that's really close to me, though.
51.
I know. One day I'm gonna get my con up off of 15, and I will finally be ahead.
No, I'm
Um,
gonna double up mine to 18
that'd be amazing if you could. What's Jerry's HP at now?
when I do.
I'm still going through 45.
Was that the same as Toby's?
Yeah, matching.
Yep, Toby and Jiri have been the same.
Don't tell me this is a fucking.
I also have another third level spell slot, so I might feel better about upcasting aid now, and then we'd be like real beefy.
Dude, it was so
Yeah.
clutch you did aid because I got down to 2 HP.
Yep.
That would have been crazy.
Yeah, you guys were all way lower than I expected you to ever be. All of a sudden, it was like I don't know what happened, but it was just like it. Also, you guys, I think, got it to like I want to say like 32 HP at one point, and that was right before it healed itself by its enervating breath. And then all of a sudden, you guys were all like single digits, and I'm like, what's happening?
Advantage.
You guys were still successfully hitting it quite a few times, though.
I have 4 things to attune, and I don't have enough slots. All of a sudden,
You have 4 items.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
I don't even know.
because I updated my
Yeah.
infusion list, so
Oh.
I immediately added like 3 or 4 more things. Yeah.
That's very funny. Yeah, because you've always, I feel like everyone else has had attunement slots pretty full. And then you have always had extra spaces. And I was wondering, I'm like, there's going to be more infused items, or attunable items in the future, obviously. But I'm like, I wonder if she will
the big
infuse.
Yeah, the big thing I didn't realize was all of the new infusions I want to take are like need to be attuned